Hey guys, Sean here. Welcome to the F1 word and to whatever this is. Yes, there was no sound. Sean forgot to settle the audio. Don't worry, I've sorted it. It's all done now. Hopefully you're all okay and no problems. Let me know if you hear any echoes or anything. I might have it on the wrong thing, but hopefully all good. Yes, whatever this is. As you can probably tell from the thumbnail and the title of the video, we had no idea what to call it. So a season launch watch-along, hashtag F175 live. That'll do. How are we all doing this fine evening in the UK and wherever you are in the world, morning, afternoon, whatever. Great to see you all in chat. It's been a long time. 14th of December, I believe, was the last time we streamed. So welcome to the first of many live streams this year, including 27 hours across 3 days next week for testing. So you'll be sick of us by the end of next week, but hopefully you'll enjoy this evening. Just nice and relaxed, no pressure. We'll take lots of your questions throughout. We've got some news to talk about as well, but we are here to watch along the season launch event at the O2. Obvious disclaimer right from the start. I can't show you the event live because FOM would take my family, kill them all. It'd be terrible. So yeah, I can't risk losing people, just for the sake of showing you the footage. But there is a link in the description to the F1 live stream, which is on YouTube. So we're just going to watch that along together, poke fun at it inevitably, be really sarcastic, and be really grumpy old men. So hopefully we'll have a good night. But it's looking quite cringe at the moment. The drivers are out on the red carpet and they should be in the arena now. So all good. But yeah, this is... It's all very F1, but not really F1, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Anyway, I've got guests. It's not just me waffling along tonight. I've got guests, plural guests, starting with a man who, come this time next week, will be dreading Wednesday. Hey, Stuart, how are you doing?
The 2025 season, as I guess this is, even though we've sort of seen a couple of cars in one form or another, and we're probably not going to see the actual cars tonight. We're going to see some kind of cars. It's all very exciting, isn't it? I can't wait.
I think I can hear you. Just 1 second, Stuart. That all came across. I think this is really playing up on me for some reason. Windows did an update just before I went live, and it's just taken all my settings out because that's the way it operates. But so you're on desktop audio, so this might need some tweaking as we go. So sorry, everyone. Blame Windows. Boo, Windows. But yes, no, I'm not. Not remotely cynical. I remember our WhatsApp conversations, Stuart. We're both very grumpy old men about this. And I was just going to say, on the subject of grumpy old men, but I think that's really harsh. It's been a while, mate. It's really great to have you on. Hello, Jonty. You're not grumpy, I promise.
No, I think that's perfectly fair, to be quite honest. But I had to come for this. I'm not going to miss this for the world. It's going to be great. F1 does panto.
Yet somehow worse.
It's going to be fantastic.
It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be great fun, but yeah. So just to anybody in chat that's like, oh, that's a bit loud, that's a bit quiet, I'll tweak it as we go. Is there anything I can do? Because obviously YouTube's decided to be a swine for some reason, so I'll do my best. But not YouTube. I'm not blaming YouTube. That's not fair. We'll blame Windows. Anyway, yes. So before we get into the launch stuff, there will be some photos just from the event so far, scrolling, but also some stuff from cheesy launches from the past. Just I haven't got a face cam set up yet. Don't worry. Testing. You're finally going to see this ugly mug. Because you keep asking, so there you go. Why not? Been a bit of news actually this afternoon, which has kind of caught a few people off guard. I think a lot of people thought that today was all going to be about this event, and people weren't going to be talking about the FIA and whatnot. But we have got some information from the F1 Commission. Some of it not greatly surprising. So. Quickly read these for you all. The new stringent deflection test on the front wing will be introduced from Spanish Grand Prix onwards. We knew that one, covered that in the video last week. More stringent deflection tests on the rear wing from the start of the season. The driver cooling system, that's all been finalised. That'll be in use this year when they hit extreme heat hazard, which I think they've put down at 31.5 degrees, I think. So that's an extreme heat hazard, so they're going to do that. But then it got to some interesting stuff. So obviously they're changing the grids, the way they do grids as well. We sorted that out with shuffling people up after penalties. But removal of the limitations in the number of gearboxes used by teams as the reliability of current designs renders this restriction obsolete. So quite a big change there to the regulations. Also some tidying up around Section C of the technical regs. But the big one, I think, we'll start start with you on this one, Stuart, is furthermore, with the aim of promoting better racing at the Monaco Grand Prix, the Commission discussed proposals for Monaco-specific regulations. The Commission agreed to increase the numbers of mandatory pit stops in the race. These proposals will be further discussed by the Sporting Advisory Committee in the coming week. So they are acknowledging that Monaco needs some work doing, which I think we all kind of knew. I'm not totally convinced mandatory pit stops is the way to go, but it's good they've made that acknowledgement, I suppose. So what was your reaction to that when you saw the news? I was a little bit surprised.
Yeah, that sort of came out of nowhere, didn't it? But actually, I'm kind of glad they're thinking about ways to improve Monaco. It's a very specific circuit. It's already a little bit shorter in race length than other ones. They know, they're already aware that they have to do a few things different. Not exactly sure how they were going to do it, but a couple of things that seemed to come out that were kind of rumored was either, using all three compounds in the dry and maybe even mandating having two stints, even if it's declared wet. I think it would be interesting. I think what prompted this is obviously last year, no one had to take a pit stop and it turned into a procession from start to finish. I believe George Russell came out and said maybe we should just bring the softest compound and only use that instead of using a multitude of compounds, because that's the one that's going to degrade. It's the only one that's going to degrade. So it will force us to think on our feet. So I think it's potentially positive on the whole. I'm glad they're kind of actually at least addressing this as a thing and thinking, okay, we need to do something a little bit different. Obviously we can't change the track because it's, it's an old European road going through a city. So we need to do a little bit of something to just make sure there's some variability in the race. So cautiously positive, I think.
Yeah, it's something, isn't it, Jonty? I mean, I still think the best way to spice up Monaco is to look along the time trial route, because qualifying is the best we get all season. But what do you think to the idea of more mandatory stops in Monaco? I'll be honest, actually. Sorry, Jonty. I'll just very quickly say I do kind of feel like the problem in Monaco is that the leader drives slowly, or as slowly as you can get in an F1 car without crashing, then just floors it around a pit stop. So don't they just have to do this 2 or 3 times now instead of just once?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I don't think just mandatory pit stops will be the way to go. If they're going to force mandatory pit stops, then make it have a reason. And the simplest and most obvious solution to me is you've got to use all 3 compounds. Don't set a number of stops. Just you have to use the soft, the medium, and the hard at some point. It would give them more freedom with the strategy, although they would probably all end up with the same idea again. But it would at least be something that's a little bit different, still a little bit flexible, but will spice it up. How much? I don't know.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say just take a tyre off each car at each pit stop. Just so one of John's bizarre suggestions.
Well, I mean, Russell was right in saying just bring the softest. That's one way to go about it. But then you just sort of prescribing when the stops will be, because everyone will be on exactly the same thing at the exact same time. Whereas with that little bit of freedom, it might give something different. Someone starting on the hard in the hope of a big, lengthy yellow or red flag, and then they can make it up later. There's always that chance of something happening, especially at Monaco.
Yeah, and I suppose actually we've talked about this a lot. If we go with sort of you have to use all 3 compounds, Monaco feels like the right place to try something different, sort of skipping a compound in some ways, just to mix it up a little bit. But I know we've got 6 compounds this year. Yes, it's tyre talk time. I've not even done a segue. How bad is that? We've got 6 compounds this year now, because we've got this extra, let's call it a super soft for street tracks. So the C6 is what it's officially called, but this is, if anything, we need to bring back the rainbow now. We're going to go 6 compounds. Why not? That's just for street tracks. So that'll mix it up a little bit, but I'm just not sure. We saw I know that wasn't so much mandatory stops, Stuart. The Qatar thing was in 2023 was more stint length, wasn't it, than mandatory stops? But that just showed to me that it doesn't spice up the racing because everyone pits at the same time, and that's a concern Jonty's got there. So if you could, I guess I'll tell you what then, Stuart. If you could change one thing about Monaco, and you can't just axe it, what would you do to spice up the racing? Bernie's shortcut that he suggested in the past?
Oh, I believe I did an entire video on this back in the day. And I think my favorite option of the things I gave was, if possible, there are other roads you can open up, and you can sort of open up little joker sections that you like have to take, I don't know, several times during a race, 10 times during a race, whatever. So it gets you out of the queue and onto a different part of the track. Which means, it gives you sort of a little bit of a little bit of qualifying inside the race. So, drivers can take to the joker section, which may go off in a different direction that might make the lap a little bit longer. But allow them to kind of press on and see if they can jump. Almost, it kind of gives the same effect as maybe a pit stop, but without having to go through the pits. So, that would be my idea, if you can just open up a bit of different road.
Yeah. Dell, first mention of Dell this year. Hello, mate. Says demolish the city. There you go. Knock it all down, knock the whole of Monaco down, and just build a racetrack. And they'd still get it wrong. Go on then, Jonty, super quickly. If you could change one thing about Monaco, other than just getting rid of it.
No, let's just do something crazy. Every lap that ends in a 0 or a 5, right? The pit lane is closed, and every driver has the opportunity to do the Mahiva lap. Raghunathan, where they can just straight line the pit exit.
I'd be all for that. Or just straight across the Nouvelle Chicane or something. That'd be, why not? That's enough on Monaco. I'm pretty sure we'll talk a lot more about that next week. Obviously, we'll try and get to you in chat as well over the next sort of 14 minutes while I wait for this, whatever it's going to be. I was going to say poo show. This show to start, which is hosted for reasons by Jack Whitehall. Sure. As a massive F1 fan, Jack Whitehall, who we see every weekend at an F1 race. So I think I'd rather have had Gordon Ramsay, although it is pre-watershed, so maybe not. But so we will get to your question and testing if we miss any tonight. We'll try and come to you throughout, but we are going to talk a lot about this event and we are going to poke fun at it. I'm going to be honest with you now. So if you don't like sarcasm, you're in the wrong place. It's going to happen. Link in the description. Don't forget to the F175 live launch on their YouTube channel so you can poke fun with us. I think you can watch on Sky Sports in the UK as well. And I'm sure elsewhere too. We've also got some other bits that have come out today news-wise. Yuki Tsunoda has said that he wasn't angry about being overlooked for the seat at Red Bull this year because he'd already prepared himself for that. So poor Yuki. I think actually, based on all our streams last year and the conversations we had, I think we all prepared for Yuki Tsunoda to be overlooked for that seat, unfortunately. Jack Doohan got a bit spiky today, and Alpine shut down questions regarding the pressure from Colapinto. He got a couple of those in before the press officer said no more. So they're a bit spiky on that, but Doohan seems pretty clear he's going to be in the car for the season. But I can't shake the feeling that decision's already been made, which is why when we went to Autosport, Stuart, we came up with the make it to Miami idea that we never used, whether or not he'd make it to Miami. So that was a shame. There was something else as well that I'm forgetting. We've got the Ferrari launch tomorrow. We've got the Haas launch. I think there's some details that should come out tonight after this event. I think we're going to see a lot of cars today, not in the flesh, but in renders and things on social media, because I think teams are pretty much going to show the liveries and then go, here's our car. We know Ferrari are launching officially tomorrow. We've got shakedowns next week, right ahead of testing. This whole thing, and this is my biggest complaint. Here he goes. What are we in? We're like 15 minutes in stream and moaning already. My biggest complaint about this is just how it's messed up pre-season. And I'm not talking about like from a content creator's point of view or from a journalism point of view or anything like that. I just mean, as a fan, there was just something. You had Christmas and New Year, and then in early January you got your audios on social media of the cars being fired up for the first time, and that built a bit of hype. And then you got the launch dates confirmed, and that built a bit of hype. And then once you got through the 8 months that was January, you started to get into the launches, and you got your first glimpses and teasers. Remember that Alpine teaser last year, Jonty, with all the camo on the car, and then they launched just a normal car with sod all paint on it. We used to get teasers like that where we could poke a lot of fun at it, have some fun, and then we get testing, and then we'd be straight into the first race. But it's just everything's been hinged on tonight, and that's just a little bit frustrating for me, because I quite enjoy but I always see sort of launches and testing as F1 fans' Christmas, to be honest. So are you? I know you love the cringe, Jonty, but do you agree with me there, or do you think having it all in one event just gets it all out of the way, stop people drawing arrows on cars who don't know what they're talking about, and then get straight into the testing and racing?
I think they've both got merits, to be honest. I mean, this does simplify it a bit. It adds an extra live thing for the fans to go to. It's a bit restricted and difficult, but it's still there. However, I do like the randomness of individual launches. I think one of the things I am excited about is how ridiculous this is. How ridiculous this ends up being. It's like, are Ferrari going to try and one-up it? Because we've seen what they're capable of in the past. With the dancing that everyone memed and changed tunes on about, was that 2019, I think? Which was just amazing. Like, are they going to do that again?
They had the SF1000 launch, didn't they? Where they made quite a fuss with the orchestra and all of that lot as well. That would be quite funny. It'd be great if tonight's is really like a proper damp squib, and then tomorrow's Ferrari launch is just epic.
Yeah, because I mean that SF1000 one was still cringy and kind of cheesy, but it was fun. It got everyone involved. Loads of people were taking clips and putting different songs over it, and all of them worked. But the best being Thomas the Tank Engine, because it's the best over everything for some reason. Like it could be worthwhile doing this just for the hilarious content that comes out afterwards, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I was just on the Thomas Tank Engine thing, totally random. Watched a YouTube video, not yesterday, day before, Sunday, I think, of the Thomas Tank Engine theme without the piano. It, as the kids would say, it slaps. Wow, that sounded wrong coming out of my mouth, didn't it, completely? Oh, look at me, down with the kids. Yeah. Just a random thought there. Anyway, yeah. Do you think the one big show, or do you prefer the lots of little? Because we often poke fun at people getting blurry renders of cars or whatever, and then trying to work out how big the side pods are. But it's kind of part of it, isn't it? I quite enjoy that, Stuart. The stupidity of it all.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we haven't seen anything yet. There's still 8.5 minutes before we crack on with this, but. In theory, when I thought about this idea, I did think, yeah, I like the little staggered launches. I like the way it spreads out across the preseason and all that stuff. I know there's a lot of nonsense that goes with it. And I know most of us, even those of us who are slightly technical minded, are not going to be looking at the body shapes and working out how the aero works. So we're mostly there just for the livery anyway. And I know that's what we're getting tonight. But there is a little bit about something about spending the whole day chatting about the new Ferrari, and then the next day chatting about the new Williams as they kind of come out and stuff. Having said that, why not do something different as a one-off? I'm hoping this isn't going to be like a, every year thing. They are calling it the F175 as an anniversary. so hopefully it's just a bit of one-off. I think potentially it could be fun because, you just get a little bit with each team, but none of that waffle. My mind goes back to Aston Martin launches where Lawrence Stroll gets dragged out to duck all the charm out of a room for half an hour, and how boring that is. So it's going to be concise, but I also know how cringe F1 are when they do stuff. I'm thinking about pre and post stuff in Vegas, like the weird announcers they have whenever they go to America, all that kind of weird, it all a little bit overproduced and like, look, kids, we're cool. Look, please love us, 18-year-olds. And there's nothing wrong with attracting 18-year-olds, but these are like 18-year-olds being attracted by like dads who are trying to be cool. That's the impression I get whenever everyone tries to do something fun. So, I'm going to go in with an open mind, but that's kind of what I'm expecting from tonight.
You've got me laughing. It's just the image. It's an image I can't ever shake when somebody mentions the announcer in America. It's the Sergio Perez one. Oh my god.
Yeah,
it kills me every time. Just it's right in his face. Perez. He's like, help. Where do I go?
The annoying thing about those is the fact that, right, you want to Americanize those races. You want to have the big intros and whatnot, then do it. Don't just half-arse it. Do it full on. Get them coming out WWE style with their own music, great big screen like the Titantron. Really go for it. Don't just have a little bit to sort of go, oh, look, we are in America. Look, do you remember? Properly go for it. That's always the issue I have with F1. When they try and do these gimmicky things, they always just half-arse it. Like, go the whole hog or don't do it.
I've got a... Sorry,
I've got
a friend who has a good expression for that, and it's called rushing to embarrassment. It's like when you put your whole clowning, you just go full into it. You don't care about being embarrassed. You go all in. Just like what Jonty said, really. Rush to embarrassment, and then people will go with you.
Yeah.
Just embrace the nonsense, basically, yeah.
Exactly.
It's a bit, I was just going to say, couple of points actually. First things first, when we see the Haas livery, we have to look surprised, or at least act surprised. Can't believe it, not seen that before. Secondly, I was going to say, it's kind of like your point on Haas, Jonty. They're this team that go, oh, we're an American team. Then go with it. Let's have the stars and stripes over the car. Let's go, Eagles or whatever. Let's actually make an effort with it and show us you're an American team. And that's, I kind of agree. Just quickly as well, Mike sent us a super chat. Thank you so much, Mike. Sorry I missed that a few minutes ago. Says, hype for 2025. This is the start of a 7-way fight for the World Drivers' Championship. Bring it on. Mike, do you know what? 3 would do. 7, wow. I'm all for that. Maybe we can have a 2012 style start to the season. Thank you so much again for your super chat there. So let's see what you're saying in chat, and then we'll a few people talk Michael Buffer now. Yeah, from Stevenage. It just doesn't work, does it? In the UK, it just doesn't. Also, just on Ferrari blowing everyone out of the water, I think they're going to do that anyway, because they've got, I don't know if you've heard, but Lewis Hamilton has signed for Ferrari.
What?
Kept that quiet, haven't they? They really have. I also wanted to take a minute actually as well, just to, on a serious note, seeing as Jonty's here, for a bit of moral support on this one, even though he'll probably slate me for it. I've got something I kind of need to confess to everybody, which I feel like I've been wanting to say for a while, and I feel like I need to before we go into this new season, because I can't kind of mislead people anymore. Oh, I actually really like the BAR 1999 livery. That was all.
Blocked and reported.
I was doing a video the other day, and I was kind of like getting ready to poke fun at the 5 weirdest launches or something like that, and I was kind of like, do you know, actually, I quite like that looking back now. So I've ruined everything. That wasn't that serious, but I just wanted to make the point.
I didn't hate it. It was interesting.
And it's iconic now. We're still talking about it in 2025, because I never stopped talking about it. But we are just over 3 minutes away from Jack Whitehall, Machine Gun Kelly, Take That, some guy I've never heard of before, but I'm sure will be great. And I rumour that Louis Tomlinson, if anybody cares, is going to be performing as well. So, plus we're getting 10 car reveals, and by car reveals I mean I think it's only the Haas that's going to be the genuine car, and he says quietly like I maybe shouldn't have said that, and we'll have to pretend that you didn't hear it if I'm not supposed to have.
No, I've heard that.
That's okay, that's fine. I think it is the real Haas, but I think everything else is a show car or an early version of their new car or something. But we've already seen the Williams and the McLaren, Stuart, so that's something in there. One-off liveries. There's a picture there of the McLaren. You won't see it because it's in camo, so you'll only see 4 black wheels there. So apologies there. But anything I'm going to ask you, but I don't see the point because it'll all have changed anyway. But it's spot anything on those cars that got you excited, other than just cars?
From my perspective, I mean, not really. I'm not one for just looking at bodywork and then attempting to draw arrows on things. I think that what will come out in the wash is what we'll see during testing. So I hedging my bets, but we could get something interesting at some point, but it probably won't be tonight.
Yeah, and I think you said as well, Jonty, when we were chatting the other day, that you think the Williams, and I think a lot of people agree, looks quite basic. So maybe that is just what they've done for launch. But as I said to you, if you're Williams, you're Haas, keep it basic and just go all out for 26.
Yeah, that's a sensible thing. I mean, I've looked again. The Williams seems like it's got a massive overbite on the intakes, but I can't really see much more than that.
I didn't realise they're playing the F1 music on this countdown on YouTube. Otherwise, I'd have my earphones in all the time. They've disabled chat on the stream, says Nilesh. That's because it'll just fill up with people going, "Just show us the car," because that's all F1 fans do on YouTube. So there's literally, it's not like our chat, which you're all now going to ruin me later, aren't you, by just putting "just show us the car." But we have conversations. I read your comments. You can't do it on F1 with much bigger audience, and then just people all spamming the same thing. Yeah. So I understand why they've disabled that. In fact, I've noticed that a lot from bigger sort of YouTube brands now. They have started turning off chat, and in fact some started turning off comments as well, which I don't agree with, because I think comments are A, great for the algorithm, and B, how else are you supposed to know what your community thinks?
Yeah.
Sorry,
I was going to say, you mentioned the music. That's someone else who's actually going to be performing, apparently.
Yes.
Brian Tyler.
Yes.
I wonder if he'll have the proper big orchestra with him. That will be cool.
I would enjoy that.
I agree. It's something with dreaming or something. Something dreaming.
I'm on 8 seconds, by the way, to go. I don't know how everyone else is synced
I'm
up.
on
Oh,
0.
wow. I'm delayed. I'm at 15 seconds behind you. That's atrocious.
in.
Skybox.
Okay, well, we should have synced up while the countdown was still going, and now it's over.
Use the F1.
Well, that's why.
Use the YouTube one.
I paused it, that's why. There we go. No, I am on the YouTube stream, but on my TV. So it was behind, but I paused it earlier because I wanted to take a picture of the countdown for Stuart so I can go, F1's countdown's bigger than mine. Yeah, and apparently it's been filmed on a potato, according to my YouTube thing. So let's hopefully sort that one out. Although my internet is playing up today, so just a heads up. But yeah, they are ready for this. This is all very exciting, all very new, and as you all know very well, F1 fans are very much open to change, so this should go down really, really well.
I spotted something already.
What's that?
Have you?
What I think is the first official confirmation that it's now Racing Bulls, because that's what the name that came up.
That's what we've been told is Racing Bulls, so that would confirm that one.
Thank goodness. RB was a terrible name.
RB.
Lasers, be careful.
So here we are in the dome.
Are we just doing this like full Graham Norton Eurovision? We so sure.
Yeah.
If we see the Eiffel Tower, we have to make a comment about, I wonder where they are. We are ready. So your first act tonight is Estonia. I'm not doing the accent, but I will say the stage is exactly how it looked in the renders, so they've got that one right.
It did say RB. Are they still using the same logo?
Yeah, they are VCarb officially, but they are Visa Cash App Racing Bulls.
Are McLaren the only team without a title sponsor?
There's one other, and I can't remember who. Yeah, and is this MG UK or whatever his name is?
Oh, is this just the generic car? Is this David Beckham?
David Beckham.
I tell you what, they're going to have a nightmare turning the car around at the end of that.
Oh yeah, turning
That's
circles
like
is terrible.
11-point turn on that.
Stage is already on fire. Pyrotechnics are out. This really is going to be F1's Eurovision, which is going to be great. McLaren Master. That's a good point. Mike says McLaren Mastercard, so they might be a title sponsor, but the other way around. McLaren Mastercard rather than Mastercard McLaren.
Oh, so rivals to VCarb.
Oh wow, I hope they're not racing VCarb this season, otherwise they are in trouble. Although like 99% of the car is new, same with Ferrari, I think. So bit of a gamble there, I guess.
Now, do we know who these people are?
This is
It's Machine Gun Kelly.
that will be the MGK, yeah.
I'm only guessing.
I did wonder what that stood for. I'm so old. I did see a YouTube video about the film he was in.
He had that interview with Martin Brundle, didn't he, on the grid? And he, what did he? It was just a bit of a knob, and I just put dickhead on Twitter and got loads of likes to it because people know exactly what I was on about. I was like, he just is.
$10,000.
Oh no! Oh fuck! Oh no! Shit! Oh balls!
You got to say it while in the car, then you won't get fined, as we found out from Dan Ticktum this week.
Yes, yes. Who knew that Dan Ticktum had a tantrum or a temper? Sorry.
Yeah, it's a rare bursting of the bubble for him.
I kind of wish I bought a drink now because this feels like I need an alcoholic. But then we're not allowed to that's a song 9, are we? When we get wankered for Wogan.
But there's only 10 teams.
Del says, "I wish my ears were blind." It's not my kind of music. I don't know. All I know is he did an interview with Martin Brundle, but apparently he's got quite a big fan base. So we have to be nice because I think he might have his own version of the Swifties, the Kellys.
Great.
Yeah, I don't know.
What are they going to do? Come out and tattoo me?
Yeah, look, knock yourselves out. I wouldn't mind a free one.
Moray says Elizabeth is just waiting to take over the stream when you get race banned for swearing. Yeah, she's she's on standby. If I get fired for saying something I shouldn't be saying. Although to be fair, I do pretty much have free reign. I just can't drop the C-bomb. I think is pretty much all.
Well, she's doing the same as us right now with Ash Vanderlei over on Twitch.
Yeah, actually, just while we're listening to MG UK, thank you everyone for your support, by the way, for Elizabeth. There have been the inevitable, oh my God, it's a woman, I have to be negative comments, but the vast majority of people have been brilliant and actually appreciate that she brings something completely different to the channel, is massively knowledgeable. And as one comment put it the other day, I've forgotten more about motorsport than Elizabeth knows. No, something like that.
She's forgotten more about motorsport than you ever knew.
Basically, yeah. That's the one, right? Yeah, she's absolutely brilliant. So, but no, she's Elizabeth's great, and Sam also is doing the socials and shorts on the channel as well. Because as Stuart will tell you, I hate the idea of shorts. I was quite clear about that, so they brought Sam in to do that, and Sam's great as well. He's from Grimsby, which don't hold that against him. I don't, but he's doing the short. So we've got a couple of people on the channel now, which is great. And obviously Stuart's here, Jonty, and others. We'll not get into who's going to be joining us in the future. But yes, here we go. It's Jack Whitehall for
everybody's favourite. It's a very British event, this, which is weird.
At least, look. We can all poke fun at Jack Whitehall and the decision, but what I will say, on behalf of 99% of the planet, thank God it wasn't James Corden, because this stream would not be going ahead right now. I can tell you, I can promise you that now. Yeah. I sort of agree. This is where I agree with Class. Says it seems a bit over the top for looking at paint on some cars. It's not just that; it's paint on cars that they're not going to be racing, because these are going to be last year's cars or an early version of the 2025 car or a mule car or something. In fact, I think Mercedes hadn't decided between the 22 or 23 cars. It's not even last year's cars. So I hope they've changed their minds. And that was a few weeks ago now. And we actually do get a look at some new cars, but I'm a bit skeptical. But here we are.
I would even reckon that like half of them are going to be just another one of the same one in the background. The concept car that they paraded out everywhere.
Yeah,
they'll just use that.
I hope not. That'd be terrible.
Well, look, at least we didn't buy tickets to be there. 100 quid, $100.
I think they were up to £100. Yeah, for certain seats. There's George Russell, Sean's favourite driver. Just mute the screen a second. I'm fine. I'm back.
I will say I've got nothing particular against Jack Whitehall. It just seems a bit random when F1 TV have so many presenters.
Yeah. Do you know who should have been doing this? Ted.
Oh no. No, we don't need to hear about Abu Dhabi 2021 every 5 minutes, Jonty. Come on.
There's someone who likes short.
I'm just trying not to. I just don't know. Yeah. Russell is one of the drivers of all time, says Warden. I like that. Just need to check the Discord on that latest comment about George Russell, says Max Claydon. If you put that in chat, Max, I will block you and ban you. I went off on one on Discord around Abu Dhabi, and I regret it because now you all know how I feel. Mark says, who would pay to go to this? Not me. That's why we're doing the stream, mate. I think, to be fair, it was only, I think the ticket started like £40, which when you consider that Autosport International for the day was 52, Stuart.
That's a good point.
Actually, not bad. But I imagine the ones that are in their 40 quids or whatever are probably going to be 32 miles away watching on a screen in a cinema. But Lewis Hamilton there, Ferrari driver.
A Ferrari driver?
He is, yes. Lewis Hamilton at Ferrari. I know it's been kept fairly quiet. Gets his first Ferrari tomorrow. Matt Summerfield, who's now part of planetf1.com, is going to be writing me a script tomorrow. So I'll do my first ever tech video because I ain't got a clue what I'm talking about. So I'll have to make it sound like I know what I'm doing. But yeah, thanks to Matt for that one. So yeah, he's going to look at the Ferrari tomorrow. So that'll be out Thursday or Friday, I'd have thought, as a video. Yes, this is me plugging the channel whilst we're watching an F1 event, which, whatever. But there you go. Don't talk about how sport changed the rules at the last minute during a final race, says A. Wilson. No. They didn't change any rules. They just didn't follow precedent, but we'll not get into that today. Pretty sure if you're a creator, that's not a hefty price. That's an investment in free content, says Red Raven. Yeah, people have still got to make the money, the decisions on money, though. So that's an argument you can have with them if you want, Red Raven. Definitely. Can you please keep that Lewis joke going into the preseason shakedown streams? Will do. We'll keep them going all season, Mike, if you want. And Callum says Lewis with a red tie. Sharp. Absolutely. James Vowles there as well. Chatting to, or being chatted to by Jack Whitehall, or chatted at, I suppose. But best picture, by the way, of the week, of the day so far. I will try and find it at some point. I'm going to update Alamy and see if we can get some pictures on the stream as we go throughout. But there's a picture of Ayu Komatsu with Esteban Ocon to his right, and Ollie Behrman to his left, our breakfast buddy Behrman, Stuart. And he looks so tiny. They're massive, those two.
Dude. Poor little babies out there.
Just have a look, see if I find it actually. But it's as soon as I find it, I'll put it up. But they're updating really quickly. So Williams Racing, I'll keep an eye on Twitter as well, and all of that business and press releases, because they will come out as the night goes on. I probably won't be able to get any pictures of the cars in as they come in on press releases, because that's a lot to keep trying to do, even with a new PC. So trying to run a stream and edit a slideshow isn't easy, but we'll manage.
Montage time.
Oh, we're looking back.
Oh, montage.
I like. So we get to pretend every season was a classic.
Yep. That is classic F1, isn't it? Every year is great. Please watch us.
Oh, who could forget the excitement of 2013?
Well, the first part wasn't bad.
Something happened.
John says that, right, cars on the telly, pay attention. That's absolutely. We're getting to all the Whitehall stuff. We're now watching a montage of Lotuses there, I believe.
Yeah, do you remember back in 1950 when they did the launch event and it was all in black and white, so no one could tell what the liveries were?
Yes, yeah, that was classic, wasn't it? And that was Jack Whitehall's granddad, wasn't it, hosting? I think.
That's right. Yeah. James Whitehall.
Mr. Frank Williams.
Oh, the classic scrap. Salazar and Piquet.
Yeah,
I swear it's in every montage that's ever been made for in the last 20 years.
Which is quite funny when you think about the fuss that Ocon got for being Verstappen got for pushing Ocon at Brazil, and yet they seem to want to promote a punch up on the track.
What percentage of all races has Alonso done? Is it something like 40 or something ridiculous?
Yeah, it's insane.
Martin Brundle's crash split the car in two, didn't he? Lucky to walk away from that one in 96.
And then went on to continue racing.
Yeah, and that was the first time Australia opened the season as well.
Ooh,
and we're back. We're back to Australia this year.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I think that had actually been the first time that races went back to back, because Australia ended 95 and opened 96. And it didn't happen again until 2020.
2020. Oh, Bahrain and Bahrain, 2020.
No, it was Austria and Styria.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Are we counting that? Do we count 2020 as a year full stop? Like in life and in F1?
Life, no. F1, yes.
Fair enough. So if I don't count 2020, does that mean that the 3 stone I put on, I can not count? Is that fine? Is that...
So how is this going to be running? Are we going to go reverse championship order? Are we getting Sauber up first, we reckon?
You'd have thought they'd want to build the hype, wouldn't you, to the Red Bull livery that we all know is going to look the same as it has for the last 15 years or whatever.
Depends if Sauber have got to put the wheels on.
Red Bull will be third to last, won't they? They'll be Ferrari and McLaren after them.
Oh, of course. Yeah. That's a good point.
Because Red Bull suck now.
We've got a cage match.
Oh, here we go. That's
exciting. There's a car in there, I reckon.
They're all in prison. Or prison. It's not quite a prism, is it? Unfortunately, that's a shame. That could have worked.
Okay, so the car's still bright green.
So this must be Sauber. Then we've gone green. Now the lights have all gone out because F1 couldn't afford to pay the bill. But if someone could just swear, they'll get a fine from the FIA, which would be good. That can go into
the pot. They're in prison? They're in prison. Is it Bertrand Gachot?
It could be.
Stake, of course, have not allowed to operate in the UK anymore.
They are all over this event at the O2 in London. Nico Hulkenberg. A whole new lineup, by the way, don't forget, at Sauber this year. Gabriel Bortoleto, the F2 champion, and Nico can't seem to get rid of him, Hulkenberg. Back again.
Last year, if Sauber as well.
Yes. Oh, great shout. Yeah, unless they go Audi Sauber next year, but apparently it will be just all Audi, who, by the way, are going to be sponsoring Sky F1's coverage 2025 to 27. No conflict of interest there.
Yes, I heard that earlier.
Could be a laugh. We've got neon glow sticks bang on the drum, just in case you didn't know what drumsticks look like.
And hot take, a lot of people will disagree, but I thought this was one of the best looking cars last year. Sorry, it stands out, it's bright, it's exciting. That's what a race car should be.
Except
it's a shame it was never on camera.
that was your line of last year, Stuart, wasn't it?
Yeah. Like, you could see it anywhere, but it's just never on shot. Oh, no, the car is just people. They've replaced the car with 20 people.
I mean, that's cost cap for you.
It'll probably be quicker.
Are they going to do their own individual things, like in Harry Potter, when the different schools come in and do dances and stuff?
I didn't. Oh, that would be so nice. Anyway, as long as we get a Victor Crumb style entry, that'd be great.
I love this cringy like slogan stuff that we normally have to wait for a pre-race VT for this.
It starts here. What starts here? You did. It's the.
Posting buzz.
Sorry, I was just gonna say. You know the what's the wash powder one, Mr. Sparkle. In The Simpsons, after Homer finished watching a video, and he's like, "Well, that didn't tell us anything." That's basically what these VTs are.
This is a board meeting posting buzzwords up on a whiteboard.
They're going to put a word salad up in a minute. You'll see. Or a word cloud, I think they call it. A word salad's even better. Here we go.
Word cloud comes out of the engine.
It's Mons Zemelo with the Sauber. And he's second now.
I think just like Eurovision, it'd be fun to be the media team when you get the layout of all the screens and what you can do with it.
So, just to confirm, this event is 2 hours long, this event, and already I can see where they could have easily saved 5 minutes. Come on, chat. I can't hear you, chat. Where is it? Just show us the car.
I'm quite enjoying this. Not the event, but the livery, I mean. Well, the event's fine. It's not even a real car. It's a CG car.
No, they're going to cut to the real car appearing.
It better appear at 150 miles an hour, or I got my money back.
It's straight into the crowd.
Yeah.
With Will Ferrell at the wheel. Why not?
Special Le Mans 55 edition.
I think my favourite bit about this is me having to pretend that I haven't seen these before. So they have changed it. It is different to last year.
Yeah, it's a fade from green to black, which is quite cool. It's a little bit like livery you can select on a racing game thing, but there's nothing necessarily wrong with that.
Yeah, they've got their first year graphic design student to do it. They've just learned about the gradient fill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll be me then. Here comes Bortoletto with his Ayrton Senna helmet, of course.
He was outstanding last year.
He was brilliant. I was just going to say, actually, his F2 season. Dominic says, so it is like Harry Potter. Wolfwolf says less green. Yori says, I like it, don't love it. 5 out of 10 from Warden. There you go, chat. That's the Sauber livery. If you're watching on YouTube, link in the description so you can watch the event. Let us know in the chat. Out of 10. 1 being terrible, 10 being amazing, 6 being average. What are you going with that car? I'm going to go... do you know what Jonty preferred last year?
I'm going to go with the TV show meme. 3.6.
3.6.
Not great, not terrible.
I quite like it. I'm going to give it at least a 6. I don't like where you can see where the paint ends and the fade just turns into a hard line.
Fade or carbon?
That's the thing, right? I feel like the paint ends and then it goes to carbon and you can see the hard line. I will disclaimer, as with all of these, you have to wait till you see it in daylight.
Yep, on track. Laura Winter, looking sparkly. More sparkly than most of these liveries tonight. They're all going to be matte, aren't they? So that is Laura Winter, isn't it?
Outfit.
Is that Laura Winter?
Yeah.
It is Laura Winter. 8.5 out of 10 for Laura Winter's outfit.
Yeah, an event like this is an excellent choice to go with. The amount of lights, it's just going to be sparkling all the time. Very clever.
It looks great. It's very cool.
Like the top of my head when the lighting hits it. That sun, middle of the day. Sparkles everywhere. Where can I see the launch itself? It's on. There's a link in this description to the YouTube channels. The F1 YouTube channel are streaming it live as well. So we're just here to give our Eurovision style critiques and be ridiculously sarcastic. That looks like a lot of that black exposed carbon, is it? It's not paint.
Yeah.
Which is not surprising, but is also quite annoying. I'm hoping that these regs we get for 26, which I really can't be arsed with, but I hope they are going to be. Yeah, there is a hard line, Stuart. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I'm pretty certain it's one of like the basic teams in the original Motorsport Manager.
Yeah. If you're going to do a hard line, where the fade ends, do an actual like thin stripe of green or something.
Yeah, a really super bright neon one.
It's for some reason it's going up to heaven. It's died.
Off it goes. I don't mind
Hulkenberg
exposed
wins
carbon.
the Mexican Grand Prix.
Yes. I don't mind exposed carbon if you use it right. I think they've used it fine here as like unlike the Alpine last year, where they stuck a few blue and pink stickers over the top of carbon.
Yeah, and I guess all we need to see is the front, don't we, on TV? So that's the bit that needs to look good, I suppose. And now it's coming back down to earth and going back into prison for some reason.
It's
Don't know what I did
a bit
wrong.
over the top, isn't it? Did they raise it up for the people in the higher seats?
Well, it's gone back into prison for money laundering, steak, crypto, all that stuff.
Jack Whitehall has just referred to that as quite overwhelming. Oh, bless him. He doesn't watch F1,
I mean, it did have a choir.
There were 20 drums. Last ever Sauber car, also what Deadpool says. Just a reminder there.
Oh, yes, you're right. He did use the word vowels heads earlier, which I quite liked. I'll give him that.
Vowels heads?
He said, are there any vowels heads in the crowd when he was introducing James Vowles?
And nobody cheered. What's a
I'm a vowels head.
Apparently Jack Whitehall can't even drive. Moray just said in chat. Is that true? Does he not have a driver's license? It doesn't look, by the way, like we're going to get any photos on Alamy from the event. I'm guessing they're all going to be strictly F1 will let you use them when they say and not before. So apologies, I can't update any photos on the screen for you. But you know what F1 and FOM are like with their rights. Please promote our sport. No, not like that. It's basically how they go. So love you really, FOM. Please don't make us change the channel name.
Okay. So we rated the livery. How do you rate the introductory fanfare? The drums, the VT?
Better than
I'm giving
the livery.
It a 4.
So I would give that. I would only go 5 on that livery, and the fanfare 5.5, bang on average.
Okay, well that's setting up a benchmark for the rest then.
And the only way is down.
I'm gonna say in that outfit, Lawrence Barreto looks exactly like Chuck Berry.
Does he? I'm trying to think what Chuck Berry looks like now.
The hair and everything.
He did.
Do you think?
What did he sing? The Back to the Future one. What? It's gone. It's gone out of my head.
Yeah.
I was going to start singing then.
Johnny Be Good.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Not
do you
that
think
one.
this event will encourage teams to actually do something interesting with their livery? Like encourage Red Bull to do a different thing?
No.
Okay.
I know that not. How can I word this? Not all teams.
Wow.
Not all teams are really overly enthused about this.
Yes, I've heard that. It's really messing up with their.
No.
Is this the
What's
Williams?
what?
Did he say Rizmaster? I swear to God.
Here we go. Then we've got the Williams is being released from prison and sent up to heaven before coming back down to earth and being put back in prison, which is pretty cruel.
Leaning into the heritage.
And we lost the picture. We're back now. There we go. Leaning into the heritage, of course, of a team that isn't owned by the Williams family anymore. But you know, we'll ignore that. It's still the name. It still counts. It still counts. Let us cling on. Red 5 at Silverstone.
I do respect Doralton for agreeing to keep the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they could have changed it to something awful, couldn't they? The Rilton Grand Prix. Oh God.
Well, I think it's a smart marketing decision as well. Why would you change such a well-known, iconic name in the sport?
Williams, just on heritage, last World Championship 97.
That was then.
Yes. And last race win, Pastor Maldonado.
Pastor Maldonado. Although it should have been, as we were talking the other day, Jonty, one in 2014, shouldn't it?
Oh, yeah,
A couple
definitely.
there, but didn't happen, unfortunately.
Ooh,
are we ready?
okay,
That's the question. Are we ready, chat?
Oh.
Ready?
Right. So
Mixing
far,
it up.
they're not using all the screens.
Now, just
Mixing it
remember,
up, they're starting lifted instead of being at the
Yep.
bottom.
just remember, by the
This
way,
looks just like the other livery.
I was just going to say, remember the special one-off from last week? Remember that, and remember last year's livery. And you never know, you might recognise it.
They've gone for a fade. I'm seeing a fade, black to blue. Is this going to be the year of the fade? Oh no, yeah, that's just a pure color, isn't it? It's not quite nice actually.
It is a nice blue.
Very simple. Two very simple liveries so far.
Great to see the sponsors on that Williams, though. Great to see the sponsors.
Never heard of them, but good to see them.
Yeah. Title sponsor, first time in a long
Australian.
time.
All right, so we got dark blue to light blue.
Here's James Vowles entering onto stage. Everyone's favourite team principal, apparently. There you go. I need to say I had a better shot of it, really. But I do like simple liveries like that. But that looks like most of the car is painted as well for now. So I like that. Simple. Atlassian. What do they do?
They're an Australian software company.
There you go. At least it's not a gambling firm.
Oh, he's emceeing his own car.
He's Alex and Carlos is introduced, so there you go.
Oh,
now we
what
get
a
a big dramatic one for these two.
I got confused for a second then and saw the guy on the stage carrying something big. I'm like, Christ, does he need a front wing already? But it was just a camera. It's fine.
If these mechanics don't dance, I'm going to be livid. And they have to be the actual team mechanics as well. That's the law. I want to see them dad dancing.
It's one of my favourite driver lineups of the year, actually.
Same. Do you know, actually, though, Stuart, a lot of people think this is going to be easy Carlos Sainz win. I don't agree at all. I think this is going to be one of the best battles we see. I think it's going to be close.
Ooh,
Sainz might win it, but
I like the colour of those stripes on the uniforms.
they're clean uniforms again, though.
Very smart.
I don't know what to say to that, really. It's just it's a very simple livery, but it works.
Very, very clean.
Thank you to Rixis for your super chat. Says Atlassian does JIRA. Those in IT know them far too well. Is it Yira or Jira? But you know, there you go. Callum says 6 out of 10 for the car, 8 out of 10 for the suits. Del says hard tyres for such a short stint, rookie mistake. Good one, Del. You got us there. Yeah. An upgrade from XL, apparently. Oh, nothing beats XL, does it, Stuart? Oh, no.
Love Excel.
We love XL.
New helmet for Sainz this year.
Yes.
Let's not forget. You'll get a picture of it at some point. He's holding it.
Alonso inspired, except for it's basically completely different. According to socials, anyway. The Duracell battery they've kept, though, on the airbox. I'm pleased to see that. It's such a stupid detail, but I love it. So I'll give him that.
Chat knocked that one over by livery. We're seeing 6s and 5s and stuff.
Yeah, Warden's gone 5 for Sauber, 6 for Williams. Ready for the meme banger. Oh, the meme channel's gonna have a lot of fun here. 6.5 for Pete for the Williams. So let us know your scores in chat. Paint 2D will give it a 9, and AJ says 7. Larkson Rec says Larkson Rec, very good. It says 8. 7 for Moray. So some bigger scores coming in now. 10s across the board.
Yeah.
Not quite.
I would say 6.
Underestimate
7
simplicity.
Yeah, 6, but a 7 if it was the one they ran at Silverstone, because that was really nice.
I quite like that.
I think it'll look nice in the daylight as well. I like it. I'm going to give it a 7 for now.
Yeah, no, 7. Yeah, I don't think it's. We like simple, but I don't think it still needs something to take it above 7 for me. That's a bit more interesting. Like you say, John, I think I'd probably go 8 if they'd gone with the one at Silverstone because I thought it was different. But yeah, 7 for me, I think. But it'll be quite forgettable. It won't be in the morning. I won't wake up and go, oh, that Williams livery from last night. I'll be like, oh yeah, Williams.
I think sometimes a question you have to ask about how iconic a livery is if this car won a world championship, would it be one of the iconic cars you think back on? And I think that's what doesn't elevate it above a 7 for me, but I do think it's quite smart.
Joseph questioning the driver names on the car. I did notice that it said Carlos in like a yellow box, which looks a bit messy. I'm not keen on. But yeah, what did they come up with a name for these guys? By the way, is it Carbono or something? Yeah. Jack Whitehorse talking to Lando Norris, who for some reason is becoming the face of F1. Kids, I suppose.
Well, he's the pretender to the throne now.
Yeah.
Until we get to race 1 and the McLaren shit.
Fingers crossed. No, I want old Aussie P to do a cracking job. I want him to have a good season this year. Press release from Stake F1 Kick Sauber. The covers are off. The spotlights are on. We presented the look and feel for its 2025 Challenger in front of 14,000 fans attending. There you go. Take to the track in the Bahrain test next week, which I don't know why it's in the press release. If you couldn't work that out, you've got issues. That was always going to take to the track for testing. Then we get into the World Championship. Nothing. I'm not going to read the quotes because it'll just be your normal PR spiel. But yes, I tell you what, actually, in the renders, looks better. But that means on track it's going to be somewhere in between the two because the renders are always obviously made to look epic, aren't they? But yeah, so press releases are starting to drop. I'll keep an eye out for anything interesting and give them a shout, but we'll see.
I'm going to annoy people now.
Go on then.
Is Lando copying Lewis's Ferrari photo with the big extra jacket just draped over the shoulders here?
I mean, everybody else is, so.
I see anyone else doing it.
Outside Sainsbury's, nothing really. In front of my Astra. No, Jeremy Clarkson did it, didn't he? And who else did it? Somebody else. Oh, who was... Oh, sorry, not to be rude, but not ageist, but who was the old guy who did it? I've forgotten who it was now.
The old guy who wore jackets?
Yeah, who's the old guy that wears a coat? Who did the Lewis Hamilton thing? Oh, I can't remember who it was now. If you're on social, you might get it. Apparently, officially, it's Carbon is the name, not Carbon.
That won't get confusing at all.
I'd just go Carbono sounds better, to be honest. But
wow,
yeah.
The boom mic guy is really doing his job.
Yeah, I know Clarkson did the jacket meme, but there was somebody else as well. I can't remember who it was. It's going to bug me now, but it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It's not important, Sean. But yeah, I can't hear what they're saying because obviously I've only got headphones on very quietly, so I can hear Stuart and Jonty. So while they're talking to Lando, Williams' press release has come through. Liam Lawson, by the way, don't like his hair, although he does look like he's one of the new members of the Backstreet Boys, so that's something. The livery design chosen for the FW47 celebrates the partnership of two titans of their industries. Williams, our new title partner, whatever they're called, featuring a gradient that symbolises a new era for the team. I was just thinking, how does a gradient do that? But I suppose you're transitioning from one era to another. Yeah. So yeah, that makes sense. Just for a second, I was like, how does that do that? But no, it does do that.
East London, it's me.
Munya. Oh, I forgot his bloody name now. I think he's ace. I think he's great.
He's really fun. I'm actually excited for this livery because if they could just iron out the Toro Rosso thing they did last year, it would be great. Oh, I know. I used to go to the chip shop here.
Dell says, old guy, probably Sean from the F1 word. Blocked.
Way.
I'm the youngest.
Yeah.
Of us three.
I wasn't going to mention it.
That's just rude.
Yeah, you're the only one still in your 30s.
Just.
What? Why did they have to pick some out Royal Mail?
Because I guess technically it's a spot.
DHL maybe?
Yeah, DHL maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Although I wouldn't worry about Royal Mail usurping DHL because I imagine DHL probably turns up. Royal Mail doesn't. British controversy.
Unbelievable.
Attacking our Royal Mail. It'll be the pound next. You wait. I don't know why
when you're just having an easier time of grabbing people to interview than we did.
Oh my God. What was that? If there's anybody here that's Autosport, what was it with you lot? Nobody wanted to talk to us. I know we're two middle-aged men who probably look like we didn't want to be there, but you know, you could You could have talked to us. We weren't that scary.
They pixeled out guys McLaren top.
Why? Oh, because it's a V carb thing. That's why. It is V carb. It's not F1. That's why. I've got it now. Yeah. Heavily censored truck. Yeah. At least it's not every. That's true. Max, how does it feel that there will never be another new F1 driver more than half your age? Oh, Moray, go away. Stop trying to impress me this evening.
You don't know that. Scott Dixon might come over yet.
You never know. Yeah. We'll see. Because these people are waiting in the wings for the impromptu bit. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm giving this intro to the car quite a low score at the moment. It's not as exciting as drums, though I do like Mudja.
Pete says, I like this guy. No clue if I'm supposed to know who he is, but I like the cut of his jib. He is really good.
He is funny.
Did he play? He played Prince Charles in that Channel 4 thing about Prince Andrew, the musical, I think.
Oh, did he?
No, it wasn't him. He was in it, but it was actually really good. That was hilarious.
He's great on TikTok if you or Instagram Reels if you're old.
What's on TikTok?
I'm a TikToker, not on Instagram. I don't do TikToks. I just watch TikToks. Okay, here we go.
It's V carb time, represented by Ollie Alexander. Isack Hadjar, of course. Yeah, God, I keep forgetting about Isack.
Splash of green. Are we going to have a splash of green on the car?
I like the race suits.
They are nice.
Apparently they want us to hear it for Isack.
Average team.
Sorry, I'm like trying to do a live stream and listen to what they're saying. Oh, we're doing a countdown. Oh, that's exciting, isn't it? How dramatic. What comes after 3? Let's have a look. So he's got a yellow nose. Okay.
It looks like the David Coulthard.
So they really have looked back into the Red Bull, haven't they?
Yeah, it's just a special Red Bull.
It's the Japanese version, but with blue.
Yeah.
It's got lots of bulls on it.
It is the Japan Suzuka or whatever special livery, but with blue, isn't it?
Yeah,
very similar.
Or
Turkey.
It's goodbye to Honda, I guess.
Yeah, Turkey.
They've got bulls on the engine cover, and okay.
The bulls are weird. It looks like the wildebeest scene from The Lion King.
The bulls are like an MC Escher artwork.
If you're not watching, by the way, you know how they have the 3-pointed star on the Mercedes? Imagine that, but with bulls. Just somehow awful. But I low key, as the kids would say, like that.
Again, it's smart, isn't it? We've had 3 kind of very not over the top liveries. They've kept it quite basic, but it kind of works, I guess. I don't think it's going to be confused with a Haas at a glance because it's very white.
McKees looks like he owns an art gallery.
He probably does. Dominic says, what if Eurovision and Imagine Dragons had a baby? Question nobody asked, but F1 answered. There we go. I like that. I'm giving that an 8.
Yeah, I do like that. I mean, it could be better, but I like it because it's bright. It stands out. You'll see it on track. Like the last 2 years, we've certainly been cursed with so much black as everyone strips all the bloody paint off to bear carbon.
And dark blues as well.
This is a lot of paint.
I think a lot of teams proved you didn't need to get rid of the paint. You know, Ferrari, Red Bull, they ran with loads of paint.
I think these are all the official liveries. Who said that? Where are you? You've gone. Red Raven. I think these are the official liveries, so they will run it in public. They will. I imagine that some of that paint will come off for testing and beyond. But the red pops, the blue pops, I like that. I'm going 8. 8 out of 10. I'd be intrigued by our reaction there as the covers are coming up. Going, ooh. It's great. It's great viewing.
Oh, heck. Racing Bulls. There you go. Confirmed.
It is Racing Bulls. There we go. Lovely. Just Racing Bulls. I am not saying the Visa Cash App nonsense.
No.
It would be Racing Bulls.
All right, that's fine. I'll give that a 7.
Okay. Jonty?
Yeah, I'd say 7.5. I do like it.
I really
The
like
first
that.
team not to come out with a parade of people down the side, though. So points down for that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
1. Is Cash App
So-
a Visa product or a different company? I think they're a Visa product, John. I think. Adam's gone with 6. Warden says 7.
Right. So are we scoring this like the soapbox, Rebel soapbox race? You know, they get a score for the performance and a score for the actual reveal.
Why didn't we think of
For
that
the
before we
actual
went
livery.
live? Do we have to
If
put
that's the
that way?
case, then Sauber are winning.
Oh, what? That would have been a great idea.
Who's this?
Music. Country singer. Hopefully his name will pop up. I've not heard of him before, but yeah. The only criticism is the
Wasn't that
yellow nose, says CPB. CPB does, Kane Brown, there we go.
Yeah.
CPB doesn't like the yellow nose.
I quite like it as an accent.
I didn't hear it talk, to be honest.
I hope they I hope they have. Hang on, what am I trying to say? I hope they use the white livery and the blue livery in their junior series because we've got too many Red Bull liveries in F2 and F3.
I've heard a couple of car references in this song already, so Sky are going to use this as a new intro this year. Pyrotechnics?
I will say I'm only hearing little bits because the volume's quite low for me. But
Yeah.
Jack Whitehall does seem like he's bantering knowledgeably. He's not seeming awkward or falling on his ass.
So I watched the Daytona 500 on Sunday. So this just sounds like a commercial to me.
Yeah.
It's like all American commercials sound like this.
I have to read this from Red Raven. It says, Jonty, you guys are basically the F1 version of elderly gentlemen sitting in their lodge and commenting everything going on in the stage, in the Muppet Show, on stage in the Muppet Show. It's how
Yeah.
it feels. Bang on brand.
We've said for years that we're basically F1 Statler and Waldorf.
Yeah. I have to admit, from what we've seen so far of the event, it's not as bad as I feared. I think I said that about sprints, actually. So he doesn't stick around. But I'd be happy with this once every 25 years. So the 100th anniversary. You know, that'll do.
It's not too cringe. It's moving at pace. It's fine. I wouldn't have paid to be there.
No.
Don't worry, the cringe will come when we get Lawrence Stroll and Zach Brown up there.
Oh, Aston Martin. Skyfall
Take that.
commercials, please seek gambling help, says A. Wilson. Do you know that it's the Newman adverts that get me every time on Sky when they just start
Wow.
shouting at you when they're sort of like, oh, have you got erectile dysfunction? How did you know? Like, leave me alone. Peeing yourself, yes.
I haven't seen a Newman advert in a while. I get different adverts these days.
Oh, I get that. And then the stupid, what are they called? The, not Skillshare.
Workday?
Workday, that's it. But at least we do finally have the new name for the FX card, which is good.
A finance and HR system.
Oh,
Sorry. It's
you're
like
right
a
there, Martin.
Pavlovian response. Someone says Workday. It's a finance and HR system.
Thank you, MD Games, a member for 11 months. Really appreciate your support, mate. Lots of content to come this year, so very excited. And yes, the watch-alongs for actual races, not just this kind of thing, are back for 2025. Not sure on everything else yet, but we'll make a decision like the day before in a panic, I'm sure. It's all good. Tom says the music is awful. I didn't really hear it, to be honest. I was too busy being sarcastic and completely unnecessarily rude. It's Haas time. Right, you ready? Surprise faces.
Yeah,
Shocked
they haven't
noises.
leaked onto socials yet.
America's F1 team, season 10, and we are just getting started, but slowly by the sounds of it, one word at a time.
Here we go. Shots of America, just like you wanted. Like, who's this guy?
That's the guy I think we just watched, didn't we? So-
Right, that would make sense. I don't know a lot of the new music people.
Alzheimer's kicking in. Who's this man that I've just watched?
I'm so bad with faces. I need to spend time with people for a long time before I. Also, black and white now.
Also, 10 years of Haas. Since when?
Yeah.
I know, right?
I'm glad they used the right clip of Gutierrez at that corner, because a few laps later it was a very different picture.
What's your favourite year of Haas? They're all iconic, but which one would you rate is your favourite?
Was it their first year when? I think it was their first year, wasn't it? When they did amazing in Australia, and then it all went to pot. And they debut qualifying 6th and 8th or something, and then they had the double pit stop failure.
I think 2021 was my favourite year.
I can't remember if it was the first one.
There was a year where the wheels got
thinking of, Jonty.
Sorry?
2018 you're thinking of. Magnussen and Grosjean, both wheels came off, didn't they? And they ended up, I think they were something like 5th and 6th or something, weren't they? They were really in the race, and then just screwed it up. Yeah,
it was. Yeah. I was genuinely sad about that. It was great to see an underdog really up there, and then it all went to pot.
Mm-hmm. Pierre saying the energy year, of course.
Yeah.
And if you want to read more about the Rich Energy year, Elizabeth and Alanis have a book out, which I'm quoted heavily in.
Yes, it's a very good book.
That would be a very, very sarcastic book.
Yes.
The era of Timu Gandalf.
Ollie Bearman. I love Ollie Bearman's logo.
Yes. We saw enough of it. Ollie Breakfast Bearman.
Plus 20 points for music choice.
Oh,
this is cool.
That's cool. The wall shattering effect.
Yeah, good work, Haas.
You have to be surprised.
This is very American.
Oh my God, it's so not the car we saw yesterday on track.
They could only have made this better in one way, is if that had come wheeling out of there with Lenny Kravitz standing on it playing the song. That would have been incredible.
Okay, so the reveal is better than the livery.
I'm not a fan of this iteration of the livery. I do like that they do mix up what is essentially the same sort of basic design of the livery every year, but it's a weird balance of white and black. They've done it in a weird way. It's hard to...
Where are all the people?
The problem is as well, by the way, just we've now got a white Haas and a white Racing Bulls. Thank God for that yellow nose. They look
you got the red wing and the black engine cover.
Spinning. Get used to that, lads.
Oh.
And here comes the all-new, ridiculously tall driver lineup of Esteban Ocon and Ollie Breakfast Bearman.
This is the last year for Haas to cement themselves as the F1 American team.
Yes, of course, yeah. Before Cadillac turn up next year, who are going to be based in the UK, among other places. John says, give the mic to Jackie Stewart. Oh, yes, that will be chaos. As Ocon stands on the X that was so well covered up there that we didn't see. Look at the size of Komatsu next to him.
I think Ollie Bearman's going to be like a new kind of Lando Norris type character. There were a lot of Bearman fans at Autosport.
Oh, God.
Or
yeah.
He was the only guy with a merch stall. Either way.
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that.
I'm still annoyed for Bearman for that stupid rule in F2 last year. Where he qualified on pole, got the call to drive in F1, so didn't get the points for pole position in F2. What? He literally did it.
Yeah, but pole position isn't pole position until you line up on pole position. Officially. I had this with Nikki Halliday from Lights Out blog. It was like, pole is only pole on Sunday. You only take P1 in quali.
Yeah, I get it, but still a silly rule in my opinion.
I agree with you completely. Pole position should be P1 in quali, but I get it.
All right. Chat, how are we rating this one? I'm seeing a couple. 3 out of 10, 6 out of 10.
What car is Toyota? The livery.
I can't put it any higher than average. I really like the race suits. I kind of wish the car was black and red rather than Rather than white one. 5, 4, 5, 5.
I'm a 4. I'm not a fan.
4.5. I'll split you.
Okay.
Head on over to Lazy Boy. If you're heading over to Twitter or whatever you call it these days, it is twitter.com.
Don't do that.
Twitter. Greg's Official have tweeted a F1 livery on a mock-up car. If you're interested, if you know what Greg's is, you are uncultured. And
I'm not on Twitter anymore, so you're going to have to crop the image and stick it into the image stack. Sorry.
Come to the other place. The other place is good. We have cakes.
Blue Sky. Everyone on Blue Sky.
I literally use Twitter because I have to for work and all that. If I didn't, believe me, I will try and put it in here in the Discord chat, just so you two can see it. I don't want to go stealing Greg's content because, you know.
That is an iconic livery.
£1.25 for a sausage roll or whatever it is now. That's a joke.
You see, I would love like a Greg sponsored car in F1, but I also worry about the first time it has an upside down crash because the memes will just explode about sausage rolls.
I kind of feel like as a team they'd be a bit flaky. Thanks for the tumbleweed, guys. I appreciate that.
Sorry, I tuned out to Jack Whitehall and tumbleweeded him instead.
We're watching McLaren here with Senna and Prost. Now we've got. Oh no, it's championship rivalries. So
yeah, he's talking about rivalries.
Okay, that's fine. There is the legend Michael Schumacher.
This is a weird thing to precede what's going to be the Alpine launch.
Yes. Yeah. Well, they were champions once as whichever iteration of Renault they were at the time.
And we could have an amazing rivalry between Gasly and Doohan, or against Doohan and, Colapinto.
While we wait for this Alpine livery, are we all in agreement that it feels like the decision has been made by?
I feel really bad for Doohan.
By Alpine already. I can't shake the feeling. I'm going to try and download some pictures. He could
have an amazing start. Okay. We got some pink again.
Yeah, but how much pink? Are we actually? Come on, Alpine. Do you know what, Alpine? I don't care what you put on the car. Just paint it.
They've got a DJ. Yeah, last year's was so bad, and every of their novelty liveries was also so bad. Who's this guy? He looks about 70. Are we dreaming?
Is it? No, this is Brian Tyler. I don't know if that's Brian Tyler, but this is his song that they're promoting. So just if I go quiet, it's because I'm trying to put some pictures in the stream. If the PC crashes, it shouldn't. But if it does, then it's because I was trying to put pictures in the stream. I'm so used to the old PC just going, no, I can't do 2 things at once. But this one seems to be able to do 22 things at once, so that's fine. He says famously.
Higher. The Enstone team have spent about a decade trying to be the cool team and not really succeeding.
Yeah.
Go on, mate. You stand there, twist knobs, and pretend you're doing something.
What, me?
Because we all know that it's just a track being played.
Oh, don't ruin the illusion, Jonty, for goodness sake. Could you ruin
the wires aren't going into anything. Oh, no, they are. No, they're going off the screen. Off the
hanging
stage.
Down by the stage for a child to grab.
Is that Gordon Ramsay on the stage?
He's there. Is Gordon Ramsay?
They should get him to roast every car that comes out.
I think that's
literally or figuratively.
Just to stick it in the oven.
My favourite part of pre-season so far has been at the FIA announcing their clampdown on swearing, and then like 10 minutes later, F1 announcing a partnership with Gordon Ramsay. I was like, I love you sometimes, F1. I really do.
Wilson in the chat. Dude's haircut straight from a Fallout character creation screen.
Hey, don't knock Fallout. Bethesda are great with Fallout, honest.
Eventually.
Well, they launched the Fallout 4 next-gen update and broke the bloody game, so thanks for that, guys.
This is what they all paid tickets for.
Well, the best thing that's come from that recently was the fan-made Fallout London, which is fantastic.
It is incredible. If you can get it working on your PC, you've got to jump through some hoops to get it working, but it is.
If you're on Steam, yeah, it's straight and simple if you go through GOG.
Right. This is either going to go brilliantly well, guys, or this is all going to fall apart. I'm just going to override the file that's in the stream already. So it should just update instantly. So we might lose everything. But we'll see how we go. It's all fine. Anyway, back to the chat. Sorry, I wanted to at least get some cars from the event in here while we were watching whoever this is doing whatever they're doing.
I did enjoy that immediately after the Doohan press conference, Alpine announced the massive Argentine sponsor.
Yeah, they shut down the questions about Colapinto pressure and then went, oh, by the way, Colapinto's sponsor is sponsoring a team. So it's going to be some yellow on there then. From the
Oh yeah, that'll go well.
If there's yellow on there, it's going to look like the wrapper of a Wham bar.
Temu Getter. Hold on. Pomp's Postal Boy. Very nice.
Saw on Reddit that Lewis and Charles are playing chess on their phones. Guess they're bored. That's from Larks and Rec. Doesn't surprise me. I don't think they're actually doing anything because they don't even have headphones in to DJ. Good point.
I don't mean to be that guy, but show us the livery.
yeah. Show us the car. We just want the car.
IEM's in, so they've covered that detail.
Pink and yellow, it'll look like a fruit salad, actually, thinking about it. That'd be cool. Penny chews. Just for inflation, £30.
Oh.
Here we go. We've got some numbers for some reason.
Yeah, they're not in any order. They're just numbers.
Oh, 2025. There you go, Stuart. Pessimistic. It gave us the year.
They didn't count up or anything. They just kind of randomly became. He's still going.
How do you know that 8 plus 7 plus 4 plus 2 isn't 2025? You got a calculator?
I'm going to show my age now. Like with all the lights going on the floor and him standing there, it just makes me look. It looks like he's playing clacks. If anyone's old enough to remember that, or Karushi.
This can't be
One
Brian
for the elders in
Tyler.
the chat. No, I've seen Brian Tyler. It doesn't. Well, I guess it could be with the hair.
CPB says your thoughts on the rumours Vettel might be coming back to Audi. That's how interested chat are in this DJ set. We're already doing testing questions. I don't think he will, but I'd love to see Seb back because I miss him. Oh,
okay.
There's more pink.
That was a choice.
Oh.
So
Let's get a look at it.
Pink, are we?
No, we're blue at the back, pink at the front, and then pink on the BWT.
Is this the year of the gradient? Is this where we are?
I don't think it's a gradient. I think it's like blocks.
It's like they've tried to do the old, really good Renault black and yellow livery from before.
Yes.
Like it's pink from the front, but it's blue from the side.
That's exactly it.
But
yeah,
it's not quite as good.
You know how you were saying about BAR trying to mash two liveries together?
Yeah.
Well, I'll give it to them for doing something bold.
It's reminding me of something. Something a dog brought up last week.
Don't like these overalls.
It's exposed carbon on the overalls.
Yeah.
Well, they've painted the car. They've got to save the weight somewhere. That's why they've shaved their heads. They can't. They've painted the car, so they've had to shave their heads.
Oh,
I like the caps though. Like the caps.
Yeah, the driver suits are bad.
I'm giving.
It looks like they're wearing a tabard. I'm
giving that a 2. That car. It might look great on track, but in that moment, in that event, 2.
I'm seeing a 0 out of 10 and a 1 out of 10 in chat so far. So
at least
it's a real
more optimistic than those.
The blue is a nice blue.
Maybe Ollie.
It's the overalls that are ruining it. The overalls, it's just blue with a pink high vis vest.
Gasly's got PG-10 on the crotch, which sounds like a film rating.
I hope it's not a film rating if that's where it's put.
Who's anyone enjoying
no
it in the chat? I'm seeing a 5. That's the highest I've seen.
Hopeful Gamer's gone with a 4.
3 for me. You're going to be able to recognize it when you see it.
Yeah. I'm going to stick with a 4.5.
So on par with a Haas.
Yeah.
It might. I mean, it might look good. It might look good on track. In that environment, I can't go higher than maybe a 3 if I'm drunk, which I'm not, so it's a 2. I should have been drunk. Neelish gives it a generous 3. Jack says 3. Pomp's Postal Boy says 2. Too many blue cars, so they went more pink, so 6 out of 10. That's fair enough. Something different, I guess, standing out. Pete says nothing, 0. And yeah. Will they get rid of the pink after the first 2 races? Oh, that's a good point. That could be their pink livery for the first few races. I'll check
it's
for
also very blue.
We've got some F2 footage now for some reason. By the time this is exported, it'll be time to do another one for the Alpine livery. Come on.
I'm guessing this footage is showing us all the young uns that are coming up this year for once.
Yeah. 6 drivers in their rookie season, 5 rookies, because Liam Lawson's done 11 races. He's in his rookie season, but I don't think 11 races is going to count you as a rookie. But yeah. So there is only one version of the car on social media from Alpine. Usually they post both. So maybe we are just going to get a pink car this year, in which case could we not have just lost the blue and gone full Racing Point Force India?
I guess they think the blue's important to the Alpine branding.
I didn't know what an Alpine was until they took over the F1 team.
Well, Dorian Penn alert.
She's still going round after the checkered flag.
She is. She's been hidden behind that blue woman.
It's going round. That was so funny. I know, incredibly dangerous, Jonty, but it was really funny.
It was hilarious. And so easy to see how it wasn't her fault. Like when you saw the shots from her perspective, there was no bloody flag there at all.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but after an hour and a half, she should have known she needed to stop, really.
Oh, booing for the FIA. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, we're talking about the FIA.
Yeah, the FIA came up on speed and everyone booed. Incredible.
Chat, you've got 30 seconds to swear your heads off while they talk about the FIA. Flipping Nora. Oh, goodness me. Sugar. There you go. That's as strong as I'm getting tonight.
500 Grand Prix for Pirelli as well. That's impressive.
It can't. Well, no, we have like 300 a year, don't we? So, or it feels like. Anyway. Oh, it's time for Aston Martin, a Ramco Formula One team. That's what we all call them. That's what their friends
I
call
can't
them.
imagine we're getting anything different this year.
I'm guessing green, with some lighter
lime
green
stripe.
accents.
Okay, what we got?
Surely this is just a transitional year for Aston. Surely.
I would love it if they took the sort of almost plaid tartan livery they've used for the hypercar, because that's gorgeous, and this is fantastic.
Well, there's not enough. Yes. Good idea.
I do enjoy that Aston only lean into the James Bond thing at launch season and not any other point during the year.
Yeah, it's such a good brand to go with. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is fully World Is Not Enough. I love that film.
With the jump.
Yes. Into the...
Oh, if they come down on wires inside the arena now.
Oh, that's 10 out of 10, whatever the car looks like. Like at the 2012 Olympics.
That's definitely them. That's definitely them.
Oh, so random thing. It will have cost them a fortune to license the Bond theme.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Well, they've got money to spend now. They're all right. Here we go. Let's see what the Aston Martin looks like. I'll try and be... What is that? That's a great question, Stuart. They're filming... That's the audience filming something. What are they doing?
Yeah, why are we looking at that? Oh,
why are we outside? Oh, for goodness sake.
Here we go.
It's Edge and Christian.
Okay, so they didn't come from the ceiling like the Queen did at the Olympics, but close enough.
Sorry, so imagine Lance. Well, that Lance Stroll helmet came off, and it was Max Verstappen, and that's how they revealed they signed him. Imagine that for a moment. Wow,
that would be incredible.
That's the
kind of thing these people need to be thinking of.
I'm emailing them
Although,
now.
How difficult would it be to keep that secret?
I'm emailing them now. Dear Aston Martin Aramco Formula One team.
So there was something really interesting about the merch. If you want to get a Alonso cap, it's an Aston Martin cap. It's got like Alonso's number and stuff on the brim. If you get a Lance Stroll cap, the Lance Stroll stuff is underneath the brim, so no one can tell you're a Lance Stroll fan.
I'm liking this, to be fair to Aston. This is cool.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Speaking of Le Mans and what have you seen their hypercar?
No.
I don't think I have.
It is gorgeous. They revealed a couple of renders of it, and then they just allowed someone to get video of it while it was testing at Sebring with a straight-piped, naturally aspirated V12.
Ooh.
Oh, it sounds good.
I'm loving this
Okay,
artwork in this video.
So it's green. Has it
Yep.
got silver accents? I'm seeing. I
In
can't
the
tell
video,
from the.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Little
got
bit.
white. It's got a white air intake.
Here we go. Our Aston Martin. Release it from the prison. Or not.
Are we having a third VT?
Why not, eh? Is that the new factory? Is that what that's supposed to be, maybe?
I don't know. Maybe it is
A
prison.
bit like it from the outside.
Oh. How many layers are we going to have to go through to get to this car?
Strings
Got to
players,
wrap it
bit
yet.
of pizzicato.
Okay,
That's a great word.
This is great. This is extra.
Is it a massive game of pass the parcel in a minute?
Thames.
Oh, it's got
Is that
black
what
and white.
Who's Thames? Oh, apart from her, obviously.
Well, I thought that's what you got if you asked ChatGPT to spell teams.
Marden. I don't know what Marden is.
John
But they seem to be
Madden.
important enough to change the colour of the car.
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't
Ooh.
Madden. Was that American football games on the Mega Drive?
Yeah. Okay. Aston.
More black.
It's messy.
We need to start calling it black. It's exposed carbon. Black gets me excited
Yeah.
like the old Arrows from '98. What a car that was to look at.
It doesn't look like carbon though, does it? But maybe they've painted it black this time, but it will be carbon
It will
in real
definitely be
life.
carbon. Yeah. You might be right. It
There'd
might
no
be painted
reason to
tonight.
do
Stuff!
that.
There he is. That beautiful man.
An old cold head Hawkins.
I've got that bobble hat, not her bobble hat. There's Lawrence Stroll. Is it a different green? I was just thinking that, Dex. It does look a little bit different. Again, I don't know if it's the lighting of the arena, but it definitely looks like a different.
It's lighter.
The numbers are in the lime green or whatever they call it as well.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's quite easy to tell them apart as drivers, though, because one's parked in the gravel and one's actually racing, so it's quite easy to tell them apart. I'll never get over that, Stuart. That reaction we had to do to that race after we just drove into the gravel. Like, come on, Lance.
Honestly,
You don't help yourself sometimes.
I'm cracking open Pepsi 2 of the evening.
Oh, I'm on orange and mango squash. We are so hardcore. Try and get some photos of this Alpine in as well. But they're now actually putting the photos up, but quicker than I can render them for the stream.
This is such a long intro. We had the Bond, we had the animated, we've got this song. They're going to have to wheel the car out as soon as she's finished.
Yeah, straight. Yeah, here, done. Bye.
Oh, to be fair, she's got a great voice.
Yes.
Mm.
Also, with a great voice, here is Lance Stroll and
Hey.
Fernando Alonso.
This is very much the tone I expect Aston Martin
Yeah.
to like exude, which is good. The only thing they need to do next is to lose a diamond on the racetrack.
This definitely should have been called F1 Eurovision. It just should have been. I'm appalled.
Lance Stroll looks bewildered.
He looked like that in the press
Um,
conference.
Pedro
though.
de la Rosa.
Yes, I was just going to say that. Still the lap record holder at Bahrain.
Legend. The
It
Pedro
was
de
a
la
good
Rosa.
performance. The
What do we think score-wise then? Chat 7 7, 6.
Eh.
If you ignore the black, I think it's a nice livery. That black really does my head in though. On the side,
Yeah, I can't go any
No.
higher than a 4 because that black. Yeah, they've not even made it fit. It's like a dead straight line across, and then a funny angle that it's not like the angle down on the side pod's not even the same angle as the rear wing. So at least put some effort in.
Yeah. And I think if you look towards the back of the engine cover, they've divided the black and the green with a line stripe, which works quite well. And they could have done that the whole way and made a shape.
yeah.
So
I think
I'm giving it a 6. It's my least favorite of their liveries so far.
yeah. From the front, I can see a 6. From the side,
And the
3 or 4. It just looks awful with that black bit, that carbon bit, or what will be carbon.
and the boots look like they're wearing banana slippers.
They're just about pulling off the white on the roll hoop. Just.
Oh dear.
Uh,
Oh, his personal choice for Jay is that Idris Elba?
it's too old. Too old.
Stop being so ageist. That's appalling.
The obvious choice for the next Bond is probably Taron Egerton.
I like Dev Patel.
I don't watch James Bond. Never have.
No.
Honestly, I've never seen a James Bond. I know that's illegal in the UK, so don't tell the police.
Oh yeah, the most authentic racing movie ever made, Grand Prix and Le Mans.
Oh, they're releasing Grand Prix again.
Free on YouTube at 1080p. Everyone.
Thoughts on
Has
the
a film ever seemed more like a branding
For
exercise?
God's sake, here it is. I was just going to say thoughts on the trailer. They're actually showing it. Never mind. Yeah.
Although, did you see a couple of the things that Matt Amis has posted up about it? There's one clip in the trailer where they go through Eau Rouge. It's direct from the race because they were able to swap one of the cameras on the side of the airbox, not the T-cam, the ones on the side. They're able to put one of their 4K small cameras in there to record directly from the race and then just digitally take out Gasly's car, put the Apex car over the top. So it's literally footage from the films.
That's quite cool. But I
I've
can't
no
say I'm
doubts
hyped about this at all.
I've no doubts at all that the scenes of racing are going to be absolutely incredible. Everything else is going to be absolute donkey turd.
Well, I think
I wish you'd given it a real name.
Yeah, I was just going to say that the name didn't make any sense, but also the fact that Brad Pitt's 50 something,
60.
60.
I think he's 60.
And he's racing in F1. Yeah, sure.
Who does he think he is? Alonso?
Maybe that's who it's based off. I did quite enjoy last year the whole the way they were deliberately not showing the Apex cars on the formation laps and things like that with the camera angles and stuff, and a real effort went into that for whatever reason. Yeah.
Well, the funny thing there is like deliberately using angles to not show the Apex cars on the formation lap. Does that imply that in the storyline they always qualified last?
Oh yeah,
Because they can't be anywhere else.
Minardi F1. There you go. They're back. Brad Pitt should have been team principal, says AJ. Would a guy as old as Brad Pitt ever be in modern F1, says Dashcam. Again, Fernando Alonso, we'll see. He might do yet. I can't say, I'm not a big fan of, I think the best motorsport films are the ones that focus on a story or reality. So like the Senna documentary or Rush, for example, are brilliant. But these sorts of things are generally pretty dreadful.
Did you see that clip? Apparently, from that, there's going to be a crash at some point where there's a car in a tree or in the bushes. Because they wouldn't have put it there for any other reason. So,
yeah, well, cars easily reach a tree. In Driven, didn't they crash into the lake in Canada?
Yeah, that's just the most amazing scene ever. Where he's in midair for literally 25 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Should have given it a real name, then it would look like a real film.
I'm
obviously going to go see it. Should we sit in the back of the cinema and live stream our reaction like this?
That would be amazing. Yeah, you got connections now, Sean. You can get us to the premiere.
Just a bunch of people in front of us going shh all evening. I was just going to ask the question. This film, Drive to Survive extending their contract, other things as well. Do you think there are any brands now that regret jumping on the 2021 hype given what happened in 22 and 23? Kind of like, oh, why have we spent all this money on this? It's Merc time.
We're in the big four now with the last 45 minutes.
Avis.
They've said it's going to continue using black, but how much black?
Yori says Mike Crack is tingling.
Well, that's what Jack Whitehall said.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm giving it to Yori. Yori's cooler than Jack Whitehall, so there you go. George Russell, lovely.
Do you think they filmed their intro sequence bits yet? Oh, it's very silver. Unless that wasn't it.
Very self-deprecating of them to include Spain 2016.
Andrea Kimi Antonelli, 18 years old and in an F1 car. And
as I was watching one of Mr. V's videos. Don't know if you watch him. You should. He's great. Kimi Antonelli has 3 races to take the record for youngest ever race winner.
Well, he needs to get on with it then. I'll take that. Here we go.
Every dream needs a team.
Yep. Poor Kimi Antonelli.
I feel like Mercedes are the only team whose like FOM colour is the sponsor colour rather than the colour of the car.
Here we go. Here comes the Mercedes. See what happens there. I'm guessing it's just going to be rolled out on a board.
It looks blue. I think it's just got blue lights pointing at it.
Needs to be silver.
Can you imagine if it's blue?
It's literally last year's livery.
Oh. Well, I don't know. See, I like last year's livery, so I can take that, but...
Can you imagine if the wheel sticks like Bottas?
Go on, please. Please. Oh, got stuck.
Oh, it did stick? Yeah. Oh. Oh, dear.
Boo.
Oh, dear. Right.
He's only been practicing that for 3 months, bless him. Yeah.
Oh, those seem like quite light tyres. Those are not real tyres.
I don't know what to say. It's got some black on there now. That's
it's
quite
slightly
cool.
different. The airbox is silver now. Have they dropped Ineos?
Oh, thank God.
Hopefully they're not the only sporting team to drop Ineos at some point soon. So I'll get into that one. That's a story for another day. They've got the black stripe down the nose now as well, in between the aqua or the teal or whatever it is and the silver. Got rid
It's
of the
a
blue
refinement
numbers.
of last year.
Yeah. That's a good line, actually, Jonty. Yeah, refinement. I like that.
I want to see it with the lights on in full, but it looks all right.
Yeah, I quite
It's
like
fine.
it, actually.
Yeah. I like last year's livery. It reminded me of a late 90s McLaren from the front in some ways.
Oh,
And there we go.
who's this baby?
That's George Russell. Antonelli, by the way, who once again today has asked that we don't talk about how he's replacing Lewis Hamilton, even though that is exactly what he's doing. But I know what he means by that. I know the sentiment. How can you replace Lewis Hamilton? But he is replacing Lewis Hamilton as Lewis Hamilton's at Ferrari, just to let you all know.
Big old stripes. Big old stripes.
And dots on the race suits. Because, you know, the Adidas deal, of course. Yeah, no. I do like that team.
Big old Adidas stripe.
race
Looks like a
suits
colorblind test.
Spacesuit race suits inspired by the Trill from Star Trek.
Not the birdseed.
Callum says, "Where's Lewis?"
Please, George, don't cry, says Dex. 8 out of 10 for Windstorm 7. 7.55 for Dex. Lord McTheobolt says 5. The pants look cheap, apparently. Need the Russell pose, maybe. Hopeful Gamer says 6. Is Ineos on there? I'm just looking now.
No.
Well, it might be on there somewhere, but it's not a big, unsightly red blob on the airbox, so...
Yeah, that did mess up. That was like
instantly better.
It's like putting a Total logo on a Lotus.
Oh, that was offensive.
You can't just stick a random color on an iconic livery. It's like putting a blue HP logo on a Ferrari or something.
I need to mute the
That
mic.
also was offensive.
I'm watching chat. Reclusive Duck says Kimi Antonelli looks like he's waiting for an ice cream. He does a bit. All his pictures look like that. Poor lad.
Yeah. Play a little
Have a
jingle,
flake,
please,
mister.
Oh, what I already feel for Antonelli, and he's not even turned a wheel yet. Why does Kimi always look like he's trying to find his mum in the crowd? Says Joe Bot Wars. Oh, bless him. I want it. He's probably not going to, but I want him to absolutely destroy George Russell this year. He won't. I know that, but I want him to.
I mean, I do hate that. Like, you know, being asked the question, being talked about like that when he's right there, like the most hype rookie and God knows that. It's like, Christ, he's already got the pressure of the world on him. It's like, don't make it worse.
And he didn't have an amazing year last year. George Russell must feel pretty sick that he was made to stay at Williams for 3 years to prove his mettle. And Antonelli's just been parachuted in while still taking GCSEs.
Still on work experience. You'll do. He was there the day Lewis announced he was leaving. They went, you'll have to do, mate, I'm afraid. And this one is going up to heaven.
Up and down. Well, they spent all that money on this hydraulic lift, so they've got to use it.
Here's a game for you, right? We'll try and find out afterwards which cars were raised up and which were lowest down, and we'll see how that compares in the Drivers' Championship at the end of the constructors at the end of the year. And those that were raised up, did they have a great season or a terrible one, and vice versa? It's Gordon Ramsay. We are post-Watershed in the UK, so we should be okay. But FIA there with their with their tickets already, and FIA swearing warden is just behind him.
Did you see the footage of the day after the Super Bowl, the news crew trying to interview the entire Philadelphia team who had won, and they were in the middle of their celebrations with the crowd, and every single one of them could not stop swearing, and every 4 seconds they were like, "We apologize for the language. We apologize for the language."
I watched the last leg the other week for the first time in ages, and they were dropping the C-bomb left, right, and centre, and then apologising afterwards. So yeah, that seems to be the thing these days.
Oh, Brian Cox, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I saw a clip of that.
He wasn't wrong.
No.
See, the thing with all this swearing and what have you, if you think about movies, what's the next step after all these fines for swearing and what have you? The next step is wiping your ass with 3 seashells.
He just swore. He just swore. Aldas's dad just swore on TV. How embarrassing. Who have we got next? Is it my team? No, it is. It's Red Bull, isn't it? No. Don't Red Bull. Verstappen, yes. Red Bull, no.
Oh, no. We're doing another little montage of stuff.
Of things and stuff.
Right, Red Bull up next. So it's going to be the same as it's been for the last 6 years.
Yep.
I'm imagining.
Yeah.
Even though Max Verstappen said he wanted something different.
Yeah, but, you know.
I will say the same. I always say for Red Bull, please go back to the metallic purple flip navy blue that they had in Vettel's era, because that was gorgeous.
The Infinity one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
that. Was
that.
pretty cool. So, Antonelli, of course, a lot of pressure on his shoulders, but you've got Liam Lawson coming in. He hasn't done the first half of the season before, and he's against Max Verstappen, who has destroyed about 5 drivers before him.
Yeah. I've tried to think of something positive to say for Liam Lawson, or hopeful to say for Liam Lawson.
Especially if this car's a bit of a donkey and it's like someone like Max is the only one who can keep it on track, kind of like last year.
And that's the audience from Mexico gone. Who am I kidding? They've all switched off now. He's left anyway, haven't they? Let's be honest. How long does the Mexico City Grand Prix stay on the calendar? That's a big question as we flick to Red Bull. Not past its contract, I'd imagine. Red Bull can also use old Toro Rosso livery, says Dex. Yeah, people say skip it is already always the same. So it is their brand, though. It's a bit like being surprised about a red Ferrari. Max, 4-time world champion. 4.
Rolling Stones start. Are they launching Windows 95?
Orb R. Oh, look at that weird logo.
Orb
R.
Orb to the power of R. Oh, it's Christian Horner.
Booze.
Yay.
Booze. Why did he think doing this was a good idea?
Just the guy you need as the face of F1. In his orb to the power of R.
The car shocks the F1 world by revealing WhatsApp as a sponsor.
No,
because that wouldn't be difficult.
Were there boos? Were there actual boos in the audience?
Actual boos. It was like being at a Canada-USA hockey game.
Oh, dear. The thing is, though, the audience is going to be full of young'uns. Because all us oldies can't stand change. So we're all sat at home just criticising it.
Oh, I want to boo him. I'm fairly even judgment and I'm biased, but I do not like Christian Horner.
I want to boo that jacket.
Boo that man.
Who does think he is? Hugh Hefner.
And of course, he chose to be the MC for this. He loves being centre of F1.
I'm surprised Sky didn't cut to him, to be honest.
He loves being centre of attention because he was always picked last for football.
I was saying boo Horner.
Boo
They're still booing. That's Simpsons joke. Remember the Simpsons?
Oh yeah, Boo Earns. Yeah, Boo Earns.
In Pog form.
Here we go then. And I imagine that Jerry Horner will come out shortly so they can flaunt that. Like they did in Bahrain.
Oh, yellow nose?
No way.
Oh, it's got a yellow engine cover?
Is it blue? The trucks, they've just used the same trucks as last year.
That is a beautiful Escort, though.
That doesn't sound good out of context, does it?
Ford Escort.
Mark II.
Yes. Oh. And
you'll never guess what I just saw, Dad. The Oracle Red Bull racing trucks. And he went, why are you calling me and driving? John says that's a Capri.
I'm enjoying seeing these cars.
Was it a Capri? It could have been a Capri. It is a Capri. I didn't. I only saw the rings.
Quite a lot lately. You don't see Capris anymore. For ages, they were.
Well, there you go.
You know, lots of people were keeping them.
Can we not talk about that and what they've done with the new one?
Oh, it's awful, isn't it?
I've not seen the new one.
Ford cannot do throwbacks.
Why is everyone hyped about a truck?
We've all passed an F1 truck on a motorway.
Yeah. Quite
especially if it's a Renault one.
Hey. Everyone in chat's excited about the Capri more than anything else that's happening.
It's stunning.
Oh,
I'm gutted on this. I've misread it now. I didn't look at the window.
I just took your word for
that
it.
era of Ford was lovely.
There is some gorgeous cars in this.
I think the Mark II Escort is probably one of my dream cars. I'd love to own one of them.
Oh, I'd take a Mark I. Mexico was Mark I, wasn't it?
Yes. That was handsome.
Or the Escort Cosworth.
One of the nice things about Autosport Show was they did have a lot of the kind of 80s, 90s track and rally.
They did, yeah.
Cars.
They did. All lined up in a car park at the start of the weekend, and we thought that was just how they were displayed.
Although seeing the NSX always reminds me of the video of Senna taking it around Suzuka in loafers with all the heel and toe. Yeah, wearing like wicker loafers, doing all heel and toe and hooning the hell out of the car. It was amazing.
Were they made from former Gophers?
Don't, because I will sit here and sing that entire song. I absolutely.
Well, it was either that or Skin the Chauffeurs.
No, I'm so desperate to just start singing it. It's that and Everybody Hates Ned Flanders that gets stuck in my head, and I will sing it all day. Bloody Simpsons.
Oh! There's a hole. Is the car coming out of the hole?
Again, doesn't sound great out of context, but carry on. I'm trying not to. I'm not getting very hyped about the Red Bull one. We know what it's going to be. They might have moved a sponsor 2 inches to the left or something, or the right probably. But yeah, it's yeah.
There it is. It is
the biggest.
Exactly the same.
No, that's not fair. The biggest change. Liam Lawson's had a haircut, and I hate it.
No, nothing's different.
No, the rear wing is different because it hasn't got bi-bit.
Is there a strip on the nose? Or no, it might have just been the angle of a sponsor, maybe. No, there's not.
I mean, this may just be last year's car.
They appear to have bought a gang with them that they picked up on the street.
Well,
Quick, run out of the dome and nick those cars.
I think they're trying to recapture something of what Red Bull actually is, sort of as an entity within sport. Because that's what I've disliked about Red Bull in F1 for the longest time. They're not Red Bull. They've lost everything that Red Bull does with all the crazy events that they will sponsor and extreme athletes that they will sponsor and, you know, get into the public eye because it's all awesome stuff. It's just become totally corporate.
I fully agree. And they were really fun when they turned up, weren't they? At the music, they had the joy factor. Was that it? They wasted so much time on that PC. We didn't see the car.
Oh, Jack Whitehall's taking his trousers off.
When they had the Star Wars livery and they actually had stormtroopers doing the pit stops.
Sorry, it's Ferrari. You've lost Sean now for the next 3 minutes. It's Ferrari.
Here we go. Now, there's like a 40% chance they're going to completely screw this livery up. You know that.
Yep, just like the season.
You know what they're like.
But this is it. This is our year. Gotta say it.
Wait for the bit of neon green on the airbox.
Oh,
what random name have they given the car this year?
SF25. They've really gone all out this year.
Okay.
We know it's going to be a dark, or they've said it's going to be a darker red. Hopefully not the barbecue sauce red.
Just a rumor.
That's what.
Oh god.
That's what I understand.
Yeah, not the Magello special one that looked like it was just wet jeans.
Brown.
Wet jeans.
That's what it was. It was just, you know, when the hem of someone's trousers just get dragged in a puddle.
Or dipped in barbecue sauce, somebody said in chat at the time.
I love how nobody rated the Red Bull because why would you?
Here's to Enzo Ferrari. Indeed.
The incredible logo that makes a terrible track.
Okay, here we are. Horsey.
I'm guessing red. It's not there. They haven't built a car. There we go. Dream, because it's not real. There we go. There's no car.
But Mercedes were talking about dreams. You can't all dream.
Someone's got to be in reality.
Ferrari / HP.
Oh, no. The blue HP logo is going to be back, isn't it? Oh, the livery's going to be gorgeous, and they're going to slap a blue HP logo on it and make us all cry. You wait.
It looks really bad on the overalls. It looks like they just sewed it on last minute. Passion. Yep. Generic.
Here we go.
Shark nose, 156. Beautiful.
It starts now. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, if that was what they did, that would be really cool. Oh, I quite like this little video, cool. Though.
Number 6, Nico Rosberg. Now Isack Hadjar, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, and someone's taken 5, haven't they?
Yeah, Bortoletto, the swine. Nicky Lauda.
There's so many numbers. There. I think there needs to be a conversation about how long World Champions numbers get to be reserved. A little bit longer, I think.
1,000 years. Someone said retire them every time someone becomes a champion, but then you run out of numbers.
Yeah, just give it a little bit longer.
Add a digit, that's fine.
Innovation in the Sky F1 font for some reason. Or what looked like Sky F1 font. Oh, it's just a picture.
Like that. Here we go. 90s, no, 2000s.
Yeah, 2000s. Oh, do love my Ferraris. Wilson says, we are checking. Have your car, please, Ferrari. We are checking. Plan B. When you're ready, Ferrari. Okay. I'm getting red. That's the vibe I'm getting.
Hopefully we get to see it for a bit longer than the Red Bull was on stage.
There was no point with Red Bull, though, was there? It was like, here it is. Anyway, okay. Next.
No sponsors. This is it, right? This is the car, so they're going to magically... Yeah. Ferrari. It's got no sponsors.
We belong to racing, says Ferrari. Quote. Oh, the doors have opened. Oh. I feel like this could be done better.
Will it have a raven on it?
Like, going darker than appearing from underneath the stage would have been cooler than just rolling out through a door.
All the phones that are out. You can watch this in low quality when you get home.
It's red and body,
white wings.
They've gone 16 on the car, on the front. Just
only slightly darker.
And I feel like that's because of the arena rather than anything, to be honest.
Oh, God, what have they done?
What? I haven't seen the side yet.
Oh, I knew it.
What is that?
No!
What have you done?
No! Sorry, Sean.
I don't want them to win the title this year. We can't have that as a championship-winning car. What have they done? From the front, it looked great.
That is a Racing Point stripe.
Oh.
-1 out of 10 in chat.
That's generous.
Wow. And it's so much like wasted white space with the HP logo sitting there.
See, if they'd done the whole airbox white with the red, white, and green stripe, it would be fine because it's thrown back to the 312, 1976, all that era of Ferraris. But this is just a thing.
What?
Dear.
Wait, sorry. Has anybody seen that? Nobody's seen that.
What's that?
What?
Is that Lewis Hamilton in a Ferrari overalls?
What a reveal!
That's how you do it. I keep poking fun because it's all anybody talks about all winter. And it's the only thing that gets any traction on the channel or on the site is something to do with Lewis Hamilton because no one cares about anything else.
It looks like it's got a bandage.
Vesk says white airbox was the way to go. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Sean, you sent me a picture of a car looked like this, and you said it was a mock-up. Was that just your hopes and dreams?
I kind of, yeah. No comment.
Yeah. They've highlighted how daft it is by having a white stripe that goes exactly 3/4 of the way up the overall legs. Just stops in some random spot for no reason at all. Look at the leg.
Purple Zebra says no. He said it was a cock-up, not a mock-up.
This was definitely Plan E on the liveries, wasn't it?
I'll tell you what this is. I'll tell you exactly what this is. It's the same thing we get all the time from Ferrari. They need to do something different. They don't know what to do. So they're like, well, we've not done that before. So we'll do like that Mission Winnow green that Jonty mentioned a minute ago. Do that for one season and then get rid of it just so they've done something different. Because how many ways can you make a red car look different? I'm angry.
They don't
paint,
need
Sean.
to.
Who cares?
Especially with the curve of the car. The curvy lines of the car. Just make it identical to the 643. It's the most beautiful F1 car with wings that's ever been made. So just stick to it.
We are going to see so many fan liveries making a better attempt at hybridizing the HP into that car.
Yeah, and all of them are going to eyedropper the red bit and bucket fill the white bit. Done.
I know that when it comes to livery design, graphic designers have got such a very specific brief, haven't they? They've got such a fine line to follow, but come on. Really?
There's a limit.
I just don't get it. I don't get why... That's Lewis Hamilton.
How are we feeling about Hamilton in red? I'm not used to it yet. I'm not used to it.
I'm getting
I never am
I'm kind of sick of it, actually. It's all I've seen all winter is different pictures of Lewis Hamilton in red. It works. It's starting to work. But he's been in silver back to his McLaren days since the start of F1, hasn't he? Well, not the start of F1, his F1 career. He wasn't here in 1950, I don't think.
Well, it's not going to matter
Hopeful
when him
gamer.
and Lando...
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, hopeful gamer. I've been saying this over and over. No one thinks of blue when they think of HP. It's not that important to keep the blue in the HP logo. It's not recognizable enough.
No, they think about you turning off your cartridges if you don't pay your your monthly subscription fee. That's what you associate with HP. Is that it? Are they off now?
Seeing Lewis in red isn't going to matter that much because you're going to be out of the first corner of every race crashing with Lando, and that'll be how Max gets to his fifth.
Oh no, Jonty, no. Oh, yes. Lewis Hamilton and Lando Norris crashing every weekend. How the hell are Sky going to balance their coverage with that? Pick a side, lads. Oh, the trophy's there with Stefano Domenicali. Louis Vuitton, a response this year. We've got Moe back as well, and Tag Heuer, or Heuer, or Heuer.
Yes, we get to shout champagne.
And no more Rolex, which is interesting. Although,
do you think we'll still have the clock?
The what?
I think the Rolex clock became quite iconic. Clock. Do you think we'll still have the clock? I should really learn to enunciate when certain words are said. But I hope Tag Heuer put a big clock on because that was quite a big part of the coverage, really.
I'm here. I'm fine. It's okay. So just when you said it, I was like, well, I'm not getting rid of mine, so I don't know. I didn't really quite understand that. No Cyan, must buy new ink, actually just buys new printer for less, says A Will, so that's true. What do I do that with? Which is wrong. Razors. I don't just buy new razor blades for my Gillette razor, I just buy a new razor with razor blades because it's cheaper.
Or those four color Bic biros when the blue runs out.
Yeah.
This is just like a testing stream, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's actually
warm up.
Yeah, we're doing a warm up. It's kind of difficult as well because I've been editing a video that Elizabeth that's going out on Saturday on David. I forgot his name now.
Coulthard.
No, yeah, that Scottish dude. What's his name? Let me try. David.
Thimbleby.
Time. David Time.
Tennant. David Tennant's Scottish.
So I've been looking at some really cool Lotus liveries. And so I'm looking at some of these and I'm like, oh dear, that's a shame, isn't it? It's the one thing I would welcome back from tobacco sponsorship is just the liveries. We lost some good stuff, particularly the Jordans.
It worked. It really worked, didn't it? Shame it was tobacco, but there you go. Abu Dhabi.
How do you pronounce that?
Not with a big gap between the words.
I say Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, Abu Dhabi, yeah. I think I say Abu Dhabi.
I used to say Malaysia. So what do I know?
I'm not mocking Dora Winterwelly because I do like her. I just thought it was a funny way to say it.
Time for McLaren.
Now, they do always mix it up slightly year to year. It's not always identical. A bit like Haas, I guess.
I'm assuming orange at the front, papaya at the front, papaya at the back, and then black down the middle. Again.
Yeah, they got rid of the blue a few years ago, didn't they?
Like, you remember our Marlboro liveries and how great they were? Yeah, well, here's a crap version of it.
Remember that year that McLaren launched 4 liveries at the same time for their 4 different endeavours?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was F1, IndyCar, Formula E, and Extreme E.
Yes, I think so, yeah.
Pete says, it's the 5th grade livery.
They managed to do it.
Although with the Extreme E one, it seemed to be rolling over every week.
That's when you get Greg's in, like you said.
Never stop racing. That's the slogan for McLaren this year, by the look of it on this. Never stop racing, which is why they all look exhausted. They've had a busy winter. They just haven't stopped. They're like Dorian Pan, just going round and round and round. Constructors champions, of course. First time since 1998. Sick of hearing that stat yet?
They've actually got the old cars there.
Oh, this is the problem now. They're going to show this and we're going to be very disappointed. Look at those. Oh, that's a livery. I mean, obviously.
And the lines of the car. Not that one.
West McLaren.
I love the chrome livery, but the car was hideous. But yes, Constructors Champions Constructors Champions last year after missing the huge open goal of the double.
Yep, he wasn't ready yet. He wasn't ready, and they weren't ready.
Neither were the team.
Stella and Brown. Martin Brundle is hosting this part. He's the MC Brundle. Stella and Brown, which sounds like a kids' TV show. There you go. Because interesting, they've got the Constructors' Championship trophy there, but they've got the 2008 Drivers' Championship winning car. That's a whole different championship, lads.
Well,
oops.
Makes the gap feel a bit smaller, I suppose, doesn't it? In fairness, they're not all there. Yes, yeah. I hated the McLaren grey, mainly because of Ron Dennis's fetish for grey, said John Jones. Fetish for grey and shaved heads. That was Ron Dennis through and through, that was, wasn't it?
Fetish for grey sounds like an indie band.
Oh, dearie me. I don't want to put any photos of this Ferrari. In fact, I'm not going to in the stream. It's horrible.
Gonna have to get used to it.
Oh, well.
Where did you get that photo of
Hulk?
It's great, isn't it? It's like my favourite launch photo. Every year I'm going to wheel that out now. I don't care. It's so good. It's like Baby Hulk.
It's like he's advertising work overalls in a Littlewoods catalogue.
That's a great analogy. Sorry. Let's Hot says Sean will do a pre-season testing watch along question mark. Yes, we are live all day, and I mean all day this year. I'm going to be live from like 6:55 a.m. Until 4:05 every day for 3 days. So here we go. And dear.
Oh, the blue's back.
Sort of.
It's very black though, isn't it? There's a lot of black on that car.
Yeah. Again, identical to last year, apart from those little Alwyn.
I don't like the font of the number.
Font straight out of Cyberpunk. But no, Alwyn?
I don't know. The numbers are placed on a car in the way that you can't see them because they seem to curve over the sort of engine cover. Race 6 look the same.
Here's the thing, right? They've done this reverse Constructors Championship order, which is fine, and they've built the hype. But they've built the hype to the 3 liveries, Red Bull, Ferrari, and McLaren, that are basically the same every year now for a livery reveal. Yeah, and Mercedes. So it's just not worked, has it?
Aston.
And Aston, yeah. We should have started with McLaren and worked backwards to Sauber. Wow. Fair enough.
Whoever Alwyn are, they're not important enough to be on the suits. Oh, no, they've
got a tiny patch at the top of the sleeve.
Yeah, I see him now.
What are we scoring out of 10? Warden gave it a 10 out of 10.
It still works for me.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not anything exciting. But I guess when you start winning championships, you don't need to change it up, do you? So
it's still nice, but it still has those key little bits that are just not nice.
Replace the black.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the teal. I think of all the cars who started stripping back the paint, McLaren managed it the best, I think.
Yeah, because the livery was already black and papaya, wasn't it? So I mean, it wasn't that difficult to just take a bit more off.
It seems to still seem like it's got a sort of purpose to it. So the MasterCard works well on the wing, I will say.
I still hate the MB Games Simon wheels.
Oh, really? I think they're quite fun. They clash completely, but still.
I mean, it doesn't really matter once it's going because it just turns white.
It's got a big chrome logo on the nose as well. Did it used to have that? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's just like you say, it was an okay livery last year and it works, and so whatever you gave it last year, I guess you've got to give it this year because it's not actually changed. But I thought it might have been a bit more interesting than that. But there's some bluey teal stuff there for reasons, sponsor reasons. Obviously, it's always sponsor reasons.
It looks perfectly fine.
Showing off 3 amazing liveries and then just a mere one is an incredible disappointment. That's true. You show all those liveries and then bring that out, yeah. Alexis says, I've had enough of Zach Brown's whole energy. Alexis is done with Zach Brown. There we go. Same as HP.
That's why you have Andrea Stella.
F1 money. Yeah. I don't know about Adele. That's just a good point.
Yeah, we like Andrea.
He's done a good job. Komatsu as well, and James Vowles too.
Yeah, Vowles has been great since he went to Williams. I mean, he was already good, but the way he's been so outspoken and, well, not outspoken, open, has been fantastic.
So, we'll see the real cars, I guess,
testing
for the most part on the first day of testing. When,
as
you said, 7 a.m., they'll be taking them out in the pit lane, taking a quick photo and driving off, right?
Do you know, just on testing streams, do you know what I really ought to do? I really ought to check with Multiview they're doing timing. I really should have checked that before now. I might do that in the morning. Put that on my list. Probably. Otherwise, Eredito is going to be sat downstairs again, updating live timing by hand on an Excel spreadsheet for 9 hours a day. Woo! So are they revealing the safety car? No, doesn't look like it.
Well, what are they doing now?
Dashcam says when Formula One is more about the liveries and the cars themselves. That's an interesting point, because actually, to be honest, this is a livery launch. And look at the effort they've gone to show us some paint. And we've probably seen one actual car, maybe two. I think the Haas is the real car, I believe. I assume, actually, thinking about it, the Williams and the McLaren must be, because they've already shown them off. But then I can't see McLaren in a title fight wanting to show off their livery on stage like that with cameras everywhere. So, yeah, we're getting.
What is Behrman doing in the crowd?
That's still the cue for his merch signing from Autosport. Here we go. It's take that time, ladies and gentlemen. Last time they were relevant was,
They came on in the middle of the BAFTAs for some reason. It was really weird and annoying.
Are they singing a song we know, or are they going to do George Michael at the 2012 Olympics opening ceremony and sing a song no one's heard of?
Oh, they're doing the song they did at the BAFTAs.
Oh, great.
For some reason. Why?
Tonight's gonna be a good night. That's what it sounds like to me.
And there's only 3 of them. They didn't even bother to sugar babes themselves.
Don't. I've got a video on the channel that is just me making sugar babes references for 8 minutes.
Here's a question. Again, it's not related to F1 at all. Take That seems to be appearing a bit lately. Do you think they've come out of the woodwork because they can't stand Robbie Williams getting the spotlight with his movie?
My favourite thing about it, the whole Robbie Williams thing, by the way, is just the fact that Americans still don't know who he is.
It's very funny. They should have come out dressed as apes. That would have been fun.
The song's fine, I guess, but never forgets
fine.
Right there.
It's not what the young fans came here for, right?
My mum loves this band. I still remember.
I can see a guitar waiting.
I still remember my having to comfort my distraught sister after they broke up. God, was she a mess? That was last week. When she found out, she was gutted.
So best livery of the night? It's tricky now that you've seen them all.
Honestly,
go on.
Racing Bulls.
Sauber?
I really like the Racing
shout.
Bulls livery. Go on then, chat. You as well. Your favourite livery of the event, the night. I'm going with Racing Bulls. Jonty's having a think or an issue. Do we need to call an ambulance? Are you right?
I'm struggling.
It might end up being Sauber, you know.
Really? The
It's
first
very
one?
smart.
So you could have just not bothered with the rest of this then?
Well, you got to give him a chance.
It's hard not to say Racing Bulls, but
Who'd have thought just like basically a plain white livery would be the winning?
It just pops. The colours pop on it really nicely. And I've been looking at some pictures from the press release. The bulls on the back, they look great as well. The bulls on the back. We've had enough bulls and clocks tonight. Let's not.
Yeah. Purple Zebra says, "I'm too whelmed to choose between them."
That's a great line from a great film, by the way. Whelmed. Can you ever be just whelmed? Williams not great but decent, says Red Raven. Warden says balls. Actually, yeah, I'll say Alpine, says Purple Zebra. Could be drunk. I don't know. A lot of people say Racing Bulls.
I think Alpine is marmitey enough that some people are really going to dig it. Actually, I think I can see people really liking the Alpine.
Callum says Aston Martin is my favourite. Pete says Red Bulls for sure. Quentin says Racing Bulls for sure. Neelish says Mercedes. I like last year's Mercedes, so I'm not going to slag that one off. I like that one. John Jones says definitely RB. Dex says Racing Bulls. MD Game says Racing Bulls. Sighted Gavin says, don't know, I missed most of it. Josh says Racing Bulls. Aston Martin for Lewis, or Louis. I forgot what we call you now. Bozzy says Williams. Jack says they are all bad. Lesox says have not seen the Racing Bulls yet. Came too late. Definitely go check it out. I think it's the best one. Hang on a minute. Let's see if we find it on. Did I pop a slide in for you to have a look on stream? There we go. Just for you. Purple Zebra's whelmed, as we know. Magic Jack says Red Bull. CDC says Williams. RSD says Alpine. A. Wilson says guy on the right. I'm something of a singer myself. Racing Bulls, yeah. Says your worst enemy. Morris says Alpine feels slightly retro. Fair enough. I've lost where we were now. Kurik Rock says Racing Bulls, no contest. With Red Raven. Miss ZZ said it's Racing Bulls. That's how inspiring the 2025 lineup is. Dashcam couldn't see most of them through my cringing eyes. Fair enough. Red Bull and Racing Bulls. Red Bulls is iconic at this point. Just keep it simple. Says CPB1. Sighted Canvas says meh. Adequate. Haas for Roski. F1 1996. Lesot says Racing Bulls uncontended winner. Let's have a look. Nathan says RB. Leah or Ilya says RB. Will you be live in testing, Sean? Yes, I will, Stefan. Good to see you, Stefan. I keep meaning to reach out to you so we can have a chat on WhatsApp. It's been a while, mate. We'll have a good catch up and hopefully you're well. Thanks for joining us at whatever ungodly hour it is in I was gonna do Howard's mum then for the big band. Ungodly hour it is in in Australia. Man, I can't do it. Callum says Aston. Yusubu says Racing Bulls and Mercedes. I'm getting the Mercedes thing. No livery revealed. RA710 or mid, says Magic Jack. Majority of crap, says Pomps Postal Boy. A lot of people saying they're pretty much the same apart from Haas, Alpine and RB. Ferrari looks so clunky. Let's not talk about Ferrari. That's it now. No more Ferrari talk. Irene says Steak and Aston the best and Mercedes the worst, says Callum. There we go. Did you make a pick, Jonty?
It's got to be Racing Bulls, to be honest.
Oh, Stefano's having a time of his life. Sorry. I like the details of the bulls at the back. I think that's going to stand out really nicely on track, or it's going to blend into the background and we're all going to love the Alpine because at least we can see it. We'll find out, but Racing Bulls for me, and a lot of people said the same.
Positive thing I'm going to say is I think, and again we'll have to wait until we get the angles and the daylight and the tracks, I think they're all going to be fairly identifiable on track from each other.
Take that really have entered the social club era of their career, but they're just in the wrong venue.
Yeah, they were in a cons club. I will say it again. I will. This is a hill I will die on. They're singing these songs, but Never Forget is right there, and so's Relight My Fire. So why are they singing these?
Yeah.
I suppose Lulu wasn't free, but there you go.
Like, this wouldn't be out of place in Phoenix Nights.
It's a bit lowbrow for Phoenix Nights. That's a great sitcom if you've not seen it, by the way. If you want a sitcom recommendation, Phoenix Nights. And I started watching Blackadder last night. Oh,
papers.
There's this year's Red Bull livery. Enter the challengers. I'm going to read them if I can. Dark Trials sponsor, never mind.
So at the top of the stream, someone said we're going to have a 7-way battle for the title. Who are we expecting? One of the Red Bulls and both of the Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes? Is that the guess?
Which Red Bull? Which Red Bull?
No, I think we could have 4-way with Max, Lando, Oscar, and Lewis.
That seems most likely. Well, Leclerc maybe. If he could
put
get his act
in there,
together
you've
over
got
the
to
entire
throw
season.
Leclerc in there, surely.
If he doesn't choke, yeah.
But you put Lando in there.
Yeah, well, he sorted out the choking last year. Apart from, yeah, he sorted out the mistakes under pressure. It was the starts he got wrong last year. What was it, 5 in a row where he was lost 3 places on the start?
Yeah. I know he didn't, but a mile an hour, 2 mile an hour is quicker at Singapore and he's out the race. He nearly threw that away with no pressure at all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I say that Singapore's quite pressure anyway because it's a bloody long race, isn't it, and quite physical. But oh my God, no! Formula One Louis Vuitton Australian Grand Prix. Is Louis Vuitton sponsoring the races this year? Oh, Lenovo Japanese Grand Prix, obviously. Gulf Air for Bahrain, shock. Saudi Arabia, STC. I'm reading the sponsors because I just want to. Formula One Crypto.com Miami.
Ugh.
Yeah. Oh, I love the Emilia Romagna one every time. It's like 9. You have to take you a week to read it.
Tag Heuer, Monaco.
Pirelli, Canada, thrilling.
Is this potentially the last Barcelona, or is it what they get one or 2026 as well?
They have said they're not currently contemplating a rotational place on the F1 calendar, so I don't know if that means that they're not going to give up their rights to the race, or they're just going to disappear and go away and just leave it to Madrid. Is that the penultimate Dutch Grand Prix this year as well, by the way?
I think so, yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah, is it? I couldn't tell if you were serious.
Just from a nostalgia and atmosphere kind, not necessarily from a race. Although that's decent, okay races, to be fair.
Yeah, the track's very small. I like that they put the banking in. I love the atmosphere there. I think it's really cool. But it is very narrow.
We have to be reasonable and say as well that Max Verstappen already talking about taking some time out or retiring in the next few years at the end of his contract in 28. The race would have just died then anyway, wouldn't it? So I guess get rid of it before it starts to lose money.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got all the cars on the grid. Oh,
okay, that's cool.
Exciting. Now we can see just how terrible all these liveries are. Don't look at the Ferrari.
Well, we can really see which one stands out.
Lewis Hamilton in red. There you go. Well, I can see the RB from here, not from Lincoln. I mean, on TV. The Haster's actually surprisingly there. Not next to the RB, though.
I do like that Williams. I do like it. I'm going to be a Williams apologist.
I'm liking the Haas. Actually, seen them all together.
That's what I was just thinking. It pops quite nicely, actually. The Red Bull is just like, yeah. Why? It's. Do you know what? It is the Haas and it's the Racing Bull for me there.
Okay.
From the long shot.
So row 4, is it? Oh, this is the sprint music. I do like the sprint music.
Better than the races, or?
It bops. Really bops.
It's different, isn't it? And that's good. There we go. That is F1's first ever Eurovision. So
what we're saying, the winner was Racing Bull, so we're going to be doing it in Italy next year.
Yes, definitely. There you go. Yes. I always drop the trophy. I was hoping that we'd get one last performance then, but no, it's not looking like it. They're going to go away. But so obviously, we've talked about the liveries a lot. We were quite skeptical coming into this. Did we think that was good? worse than expected, better than expected? Let us know, chat. I'll read some of your comments out, but I'll start with you, Stuart. What did you make of that? I thought better than I expected it was going to be. Still very cringe, and I feel like without the watch along, I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much, but it was okay.
Yeah, it was perfectly fine. I think, watching it alone, I think it would have been a bit of a slog, to be honest. I'm glad we got to do this together. I think it probably could have been tightened up a little bit, moves along a bit faster, but you've got to justify the charging people $100 to turn up, I guess. So you got to pad it a little bit. It was fine. It was fine. It wasn't as cringe as I thought it was going to be. I think it flowed fairly nicely. I wouldn't want to do this every year still, but it was fine. And it felt a little bit like a nice celebration.
Yeah. What did you make of it, Jonty?
It actually wasn't as cringe as I expected, but there was still a lot of cringe. It really could have been a lot worse than it was. I wouldn't mind if they did it again. Maybe they could learn some things and like have good musical acts on.
Yeah.
I was reading chat. A Wilson says, as expected. Fair enough. P says better than expected. It was a bit cringe, says Eusebiu. Cringe had to mute on certain segments, says Aaron. Definitive average, says Louis. Better than expected. Jack made it funnier and a bit better, says Bosley. From what I heard of Jack Whitehall, he wasn't as bad as I feared he might be, to be honest. Sandman was possibly chat message of the evening. This could have been an email. Dashcam. F1 didn't need this. Max says thought it was not too bad. I wouldn't mind doing it again. Curious says good enough to be put in the background while doing something else. Really enjoyed some of Jack Whitehall's jokes. Ramsey was great too, says Catherine. We'll come back to that question in a minute, Neelish, if I remember. What? People actually had to sound upon that, says A. Wilson. F1 feeding the corporation. Great opportunity to boo the FIA, says Miss CZ. Very true. And Christian Horner, of course. If you weren't doing a watch long, I wouldn't have bothered, says Purple Zebra. Thank you very much. Good to have you here as always. I hope you've had a good winter. Back to the old slog now, with the season just around the corner. Not as bad as it could have been. Bring on testing, says Callum. Yes, I'll go record my video tomorrow, then rest my voice until next Wednesday, because that's a lot of talking. If you like waffles, we've got some waffles for you next week, that's for sure. I might even buy some waffles, a Stroop waffle or two. Not as bad as feared. Would save these kind of launches for the sports milestones to keep it fresh, says Novel, says John. I completely agree with that. Save this for the big ones. You know, I would say 75th and I joked 100th, but it'll be something like 75th, 80th, 90th, 100th. Wouldn't bother me too much, but I wouldn't want these every season. Definitely not. So, and Neelish said, Warden said, didn't even know about it until I saw the stream. It's all I've heard about for the last 2 months. So there we go. Different worlds, I guess. But I did see Neelish did say whose reveal show was the worst. I think they all have merit, to be fair.
You don't remember the ones that are bad, do you? You kind of fades.
Red Bulls was pretty bad. You had the fun video with loads of awesome cars and what have you. Then they just wheeled it out and it was like, there's a car, bye.
That is true.
That was it.
Del says Alpine easily. A lot of people saying Alpine, actually. Red Bull was too quick, says Warden. The problem with Red Bulls was no point really showing us anything, was there? Because we knew it was just, here's last year's livery and the livery from the year before, which again is fine because that's their iconic colours. Like I say, it's a bit like being surprised at a red Ferrari, but that's the Red Bull livery. You're only going to get your fun liveries from your Racing Bulls, your Haas, your teams like that because they can. But plus, actually, without being too, I don't know, pessimistic or skeptical or whatever word you want to use on this Tuesday night, but teams like Racing Bulls, Williams, Sauber, they kind of need the attention on the more, so they can jazz up the livery a bit every year, whereas your big brands, you've got your big name sponsors who pay a hell of a lot of money, they're going to keep their cars pretty similar. So I will defend Red Bull on that, but it is just a Red Bull livery. Red Bull, Sauber and Alpine seem to be the ones that dominate in chat for worst launch. V-Carb show sucked, says Motornaut. I can't remember the V-Carb show, so I guess it did. Yeah, livery's great, show terrible, but yeah. Did Max say anything, by the way? Del says, no. Max, I prefer not to speak. So.
No, well, they didn't have time, really. They just kind of walked out with all those youths. and had a wave.
Youths.
Didn't Max say he didn't want to speak? He did say that in the press conference earlier when they asked him about swearing again.
Yeah, but that's because the press are just desperate to try and get a reaction out of him so they can get the headlines for the rest of the winter, because they also were pushing the George Russell thing, and he was like, it was February, that happened in December, I'm not even thinking about that. And George Russell, to be fair, said very similar. He was like, well, that's all water under the bridge. I'm paraphrasing massively, but water under the bridge, but I won't back down on track. And it's like, oh, just shush. Who cares? It was the end of the season, 24 race weekends, 30 races if we include sprints. You're all grumpy, you were tired, you fell out, get over it. And if you can't, grow up.
Yeah.
Agree.
I think we'll find out if there's another one of these next year is when they do the accounts and find out if it's any more than 80% in the black. If they've made a profit, they will do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll be back here, I guess, again.
Motornauts says, what do we think of the booing?
When it was time for the FIA, it was amazing. That was the biggest boo of the whole night.
Yeah. I've said many times how I don't like the booing at competitors after the races, but I don't mind sort of what I'm going to call political booing when it's like against a particular characteristic of someone. That seems fine. And booing the FIA for being FIA is fine. I think it's quite funny. I don't really like booing drivers after a race, to be honest. I know there's different opinions on that.
It's not really that different to football fans being, the referee's a wanker and all. It's not really any different to that, is it? You're booing the referee of the sport. So it doesn't bother. But mainly because I just think that the FIA just, let's not get into it. That's one for testing, but I just think this whole swearing thing is fucking pathetic, frankly. I just do.
I knew you were going to do that.
I think it's so stupid. Like, if you're worried about your kids hearing swearing, then don't sit them in front of a press conference. I can't. If there's one thing my 7-year-old nephew doesn't want to watch, it's an F1 press conference. So who cares? He's 7. He wants to play with his Optimus Prime that I got him for Christmas and became the favourite uncle by a mile.
Just broadcast the press conference on a delay.
Yeah, like they do every live event.
Yeah,
it's always bleeped. That's the whole thing with this that I don't understand. It's all on a delay and bleeped. So what is the problem?
Mm-hmm. There was something Ben Suliam said, who, I don't know, a week ago or something, when he was talking about what does it sound like when you're getting all these driver radio messages and it's all bleepity bleepity bleep. What does that sound like? And then no, just don't air those if you don't want that to be the message coming out of the drivers. Don't air the sweary ones. You've got a choice, right?
You certainly don't show them Dan Tictums. Wow.
It's fine. You've got choices in how you broadcast and present things. It's not all down to the drivers.
Yeah, and they've usually got a reason to be speaking that way. Like Dan Tictum was probably swearing because his Ferrari got towed again.
It's yeah. I'm just looking at chat and A Wilson. I like how the FIA believes kids aren't sat around a telly while a bored football fan screams obscenities at the screen. Exactly. If you ever watch football live on TV, even live on the BBC at 4:00 on a Saturday afternoon when it's the FA Cup, and you hear Liverpool fans chanting "you mank bastards" or whatever, and it's like that's 4:00 on the BBC, and there's no apology, nothing like that. But you also see the football fans that are kids in the crowd, giving footballers the finger, and you're like, oh no, Max Verstappen said poo. Oh, gotta fine him. So stupid. But anyway, I said we're going to get into it. That is definitely going to take a good 24 hours of testing, I think.
Yep. Save it for the streams. Save for the testing streams. We've got plenty to go over there.
And like you meant, just one other point on the football. Like if you go back to the women's Euros, when Mary Earps saved the penalty, and we got the close-up slow-mo replay there going, fuck off. It was amazing. Like what would they do with something like that?
You just cover it up with the way Murray Walker used to say, and he's saying, I'm first and you're second, when drivers hold up fingers.
I'm going for first, says Cleland.
Yeah.
Also, if there's anyone in the chat who doesn't know what that's referencing, go and watch the BTCC finale from 1992. You will see it, and it's incredible.
I tell you what, actually, just bringing it back to the launch topic, this is a very good point from Hybrid on a couple of levels, actually. Not what they meant, but I will expand on this. It says, the timing is unfortunate. Such a flashy event showing cars the teams aren't pouring in much effort to anymore to focus on next year. It was digestible, but not unnecessary every year. It's a good point. And these are, these cars are largely going to be evolutions of last year's cars, and they've poured all this effort in. But just on timing, Hybrid, to sort of take your point and expanding on it, it's Tuesday night. How is this not a Friday night or a Sunday afternoon or a Saturday evening? Why a Tuesday night?
Yeah, we talked about this in WhatsApp.
Oh, it was you? Was it you? Yeah.
Yeah. Why wasn't this 2 days ago at 2 in the afternoon? When the races are on, when start to get people back into the habit of watching races. I know it's difficult with Australia being first, but that's generally when the races are on, put it on at that time.
I suppose this is a digestible kind of States time as well, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
Well, true. And they are aiming a lot for that.
And that's why they chose Jack Whitehall.
Yeah.
Unless it's Cadillac. unless it's Andretti, then no. Still angry.
Yeah, Josiah says because they need to get to Bahrain next week. Yeah, I agree, but they could have done it 2 days ago. Like John said, last Sunday, just gone. It's only 2 days ago. Stefan does say maybe O2 was too expensive on the weekend. Yeah, double price like hotels.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
that is a good point.
Yeah. If this was on a Saturday night, I wouldn't be here. I'd be watching Gladiators. Says Purple Zebra. Hell yes. Gladiators. Oh, wow. And a great example. Yeah, a great example, Jonty, of how to bring back a classic TV show. Change basically nothing. We've just got new Gladiators and new hosts. Everything else is pretty much the same. It's great. Great TV. It's on season 2 now, so it'll be on iPlayer.
They brought back You Bet as well, but I haven't seen that one yet.
You Bet. I watched about 10 minutes of it and turned it off because it was Holly Willoughby and Stephen Mulhern, and do we need them again anymore?
You see, the last time I saw Gladiators, it was the original Gladiators. And there's a comedian that I follow.
It was in Rome.
Called John Robertson, Robotron. Just watching it for the first time, sort of live reacting and just laughing his head off at how ridiculous it was.
I love it. I love how Stuart has just somehow got under the radar there. He's called you like centuries old. Last time I saw Gladiators, it was it was back in Rome.
Well, I have been to a Roman Colosseum. There wasn't any fighting going on, but
they hadn't finished building it.
I walked into that one.
Imagine if it was the old Gladiators, though, Del says that would have been brilliant. Like an old age version. Oh no, my back's gone. They're all from Leeds. Guy Mowbray does do the commentary, yes, Max, which means now I can't take him seriously on anything else. Yeah. The last time I watched Gladiators was probably how are we on Gladiators and Roman Empire. Jokes aside, I have no clue what the guys talk about. Yeah, launch event. So we're pretty much in agreement that it's probably a Racing Bull, Haas. Some controversy saying Alpine winning this one. I'm going with Racing Bulls. Launch event was fine. Let's not do it every year, but it was better than we expected. And let's just get to testing, get that nonsense out of the way, and then we can finally go racing at a proper season start in Australia. 4 a.m. That's one of those. That's one of those. Don't even bother going to bed races. That is.
Same as Las Vegas, right? They've moved that 2 hours earlier, so that's a 4 a.m. start for the UK as well, I think.
Better for America, though.
I think that's wise. It was a really weird time for America, and it just, I'm happy to take the sacrifice because we get most of the races at a decent time, to be honest.
I love the start to the season. 4 a.m. for Australia, 7 a.m. for China, and I think similar for Japan. I love that. I don't know why. I've always loved the early and late races. I think like people in America and Australia are going to hate me for this next line. 2 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. It's just so inconvenient. It's like just like you lose it's right in the middle of the day, so you can't do anything in the morning because you're waiting for it, and then you can't do anything afterwards because it's too late. At least morning, evening, you've got a day. I'm going to stop now before I get absolutely torn to pieces by Stefan and Annette if she's here. We have to get up every bloody time. But yes. I think we're going to leave it there because it's been nearly 3 hours. Should we just stay live till testing now? Should we just stay live till next Friday night? Why not? Yeah. No. That's too much. No. thank you very much, Stuart. Good fun. I'm not sure. My prediction that I wouldn't have got through this without you two is correct. I don't think I would have done, but really enjoyed that. Chat have been brilliant as well. But thank you very much, Stuart, for coming along. And I will see you Wednesday morning, bright and early. In fact, I'll speak to you Monday, so we're doing face cam setup, aren't we?
Face cam.
Woo! I better dust my shelves behind me actually because they're quite bad. But yeah, no, I will see you Monday and Wednesday as well. Good stuff.
I will be there. Thanks for having me. This was fun. This was fun.
It was. I enjoyed it. And thank you as well, Jonty. It's been a pleasure having you on again. We don't talk enough these days. Blame Planet F1. Blame Planet F1. They just don't leave me alone now. I've got no time to talk to anybody. So
you've got responsibilities.
I know. It sucks. I've got people I have to liaise with. Almost a team.
Yeah, this is the start of your dastardly evil villain from a Bond movie era.
Yeah.
Give it 10 years, you'll have a base in a volcano with the super death ray.
10 years? Did you say 2 years or 10 years?
10 years.
I was going to say summer break. Summer break Planet Sport.
Ambitious, I like that.
Why did we buy this? What have we done? This guy's nuts. There's 8 years of content to prove that. So, but that has been great fun. Yeah, sorry.
Very happy to be back on.
We will we'll have a chat later this week and we'll arrange what times you're up for next week if you fancy them for testing. But we'll not do that on stream. I've got a habit of going into arranging things and chat like, can we go now, please?
Yeah, we'll have a chat.
Yeah. Thank you very much, John. Thank you, Stuart, as well. And I'll talk to you both very, very soon, I'm sure.
Bye.
Thank you to Jonty and, of course, to Stuart as well for joining us. We are working. The mic thing wasn't working now. Thank you, everyone in chat as well. It was great fun to spend the evening with your first stream of 2025 as well, all out of the way. So thank you very much for coming along. Yeah, great stuff. So later this week, Thursday or Friday, depending on how quickly we can get it done, Matt Summerfield is penning a script for me. So there will be a tech video about the Ferrari out Thursday or Friday. Then, depending on when that goes out, Saturday or Sunday, Elizabeth's talking about David Team. I've forgotten his team. I think it's Team. David Team talking about his crazy days with Lotus, which will be good fun. That's out of the weekend. And then we are live from 6:55-ish, 7 a.m. around there on Wednesday until 4 p.m. And we're doing that every day for testing next week. And then we've got the post-testing stuff. And then, of course, is the Australian Grand Prix. So very much the season is just around the bloody corner. Thank God we can stop talking about nonsense winter stuff, but it's been a pleasure as always. Please do drop a like before you go. 120 likes nearly. Let's get it to that one. Appreciate your support, and don't forget to subscribe as well if you are new. Like I say, lots coming up this year. Watchalongs, all sorts of other stuff which I haven't totally worked out yet, so I'll not say any more than that, but we'll get there in the end. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Sean. This has been the F1 Word, and until next time, goodbye.